No, no. I think he wants the food. What's up? Boy, no. Ah, hallelujah. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. You want to say Shabbat shalom? All right, come on. Say Shabbat shalom. All right. Say Shabbat shalom. With food in your mouth. Come on, Eno. Say Shabbat shalom. Go eat your food. No, maybe after. So, thank you for helping me today. All right. The seed, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna grow some food. You like green beans? All right. Go in there now. Go on. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, we're making a cattle panel greenhouse here. That next winter we'll be able to grow throughout the winter. Right now we don't grow the winter at all. We just freeze and store what we grow during the spring, summer, and fall, and usually it lasts us enough to go through the winter. But we decided that we are going to be doing some fresh vegetables. So I've been doing some studying and have some plans for a cattle panel greenhouse that I'll be building. It'll have a door on it, just so we can extend our growing season as long as we can. If someone moved there, can they have a builder build a house on their land? If they wanted to. I mean, if they buy their land, they could pay somebody to build it. You know, a lot of people out here string. A lot of people out here will get the double wides or single wides, or a lot of people will buy at the shed homes. Basically, it's a shed, a large shed, and they'll insulate it, and they'll make it into a nice home, and then they just add to that. They'll just add to that, building. And but yeah, you could. I mean, I built mine. The original start of my home was 12 by 24. I built a 12 by 24 building. I put some curtains up in it to give privacy, and that's when we started. No. We started there, and now we are. Well, our house is considerably bigger. Considerably bigger. So whenever I have, whenever I add to my house, I just extend it. I just buy the lumber, buy the metal, and get to building. So that's what I do. But yes. Oh, Sister Cassie, I'm glad you said that because that's exactly where I got the idea from, Sister Cassie. I'm actually subscribed to Edible Acres, a guy in New York. And I saw he had hay in his stacked up. I saw his video and I was like, I could throw that together in a day. I could throw that together in a couple hours. And I had some old candle panels just sitting around the property. So I grabbed them, and they were already used as trellises. So I straightened them out and then put the nice little bend to them. And I'm going to be doing the stapling, the plastic in, and everything. But we zip tied 3 of them together, and that's going to be the size of our greenhouse. Will you still be picking? Yes, Nitz Rhyme at the gate. I will be leaving the day we talked about. I don't want to say it. The day we talked about, and I'll message you before I leave. But yes, sir. Thank you so much, brother, because that is going to be a game changer. That's going to be a game changer. Being able to have a stove that size. I'll sand it down and I'll throw a couple of coats of spray paint and do a first burn outside just to burn all the paint off of it, and I'll bring that thing into the house. Thank you so much. I am extremely humbled and extremely grateful. Oh, hallelujah. How's y'all's week been? Also, it was good talking to you, brother. I don't get to talk to many of the brothers that are on the channel, so it was awesome to be able to take that time out and have a conversation. I'm trying to make more time to do that. I know a lot of brothers have reached out to me and said, hey, I'd like to talk to you about something or get an idea and and I don't normally. I'm not a big phone guy. Hi, could you share a Jerusalem artichoke and amaranth recipe? What's that guy doing? Yes, we could. In fact, I might have a sister do a video on that. On especially the Jerusalem artichoke. They've been experimenting a lot with Jerusalem artichokes. With the amaranth, like they just made. Well, what is that? Can one of y'all come in here? What do we use amaranth in?
We ate the amaranth tortillas.
Okay, so they made amaranth tortillas yesterday.
Like 3 days ago.
3 days ago, they made amaranth tortillas. They just throw it in the grinder, grind down the amaranth seeds, and they made flour, and they made tortillas with that. What else?
Amaranth porridge.
They make amaranth porridge.
Savory style.
What is that?
Which when you season it. Savory is when you season it.
Savory style, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm. And then we made amaranth pizza.
Stony Island Ranch. Am I close to Branson? I am close enough to Branson. Close out here, close is a relative thing. So yes, I can say I'm close to Branson. Would love to see a Sister T video with recipes for your survival crops. Yes, sir. The son said they would like to see a video of how you cook what we use to do some artichokes in, and then amaranth. It's gonna be interesting because this year we're growing a very large section of amaranth that we're going to be, the greens you can use to eat for fresh greens, and the seed, obviously you can grind it down, and it's very good. Sup with that pizza, or do I still have the protein? Oh gosh. All right, so Taylor said we would love to do, so they will be doing a video on the Amaranth and Jerusalem artichoke.
And our wheat.
Everyone has wheat.
Something different.
I
use it in chicken, fried chicken, as a batter.
What, the Amaranth? Oh, apparently they use the Amaranth in our fried chicken batter.
And mix it half and half the flour.
We're actually doing a lot of not transitioning, but we're transitioning to eating a lot of the things that we grow here. Since next year we're dedicating a fairly large portion to grow Amaranth. They've been doing a lot of experimenting with Amaranth to get it so they could use it, because I'm going to be doing a lot of it, an absolute lot of it. And then Jerusalem artichokes, absolutely. They tend with the artichokes. What do y'all use? How do y'all cook those?
Shred them.
They shred them,
and then we'll stir fry them.
They'll stir fry them. That's good. Because they'll do it with greens. And so you can stir fry it. Like one of my favorite, they'll stir fry it with greens, and then use it as a topping on like rice. So you can put some greens, some shredded chicken in there, or ground. We ground our chicken. So ground chicken or ground turkey or ground beef with some shredded amaranth and some, onions and garlic and bell peppers and whatever else you want to put in your cabbage, and stir fry it all together and just layer it on top of some rice. Oh, so, or mix it in spaghetti sauce and put it on top of some spaghetti. Because most people don't know. If you don't know, look it up. Jerusalem artichokes, it's not just, most people get caught up in the calorie intake. They are calorie dense food, but also they have inulin. So if there's somebody, according to research that I've done, so talk to your doctor before you take my advice. I'm not a doctor, nor am I claiming to play one. This is not ER or not Dookie Howser MD. But it has inulin, so it's actually good for people that have diabetes. Again, talk to your doctor, confirm with your doctor first. But it's actually high in nutrients. It is a nutrient-dense food, and it's a food that you could just go to your piece of property, find a spot that you don't care really about. It could be rocky, it could be terrible soil, because Jerusalem artichokes will grow, from what we've seen, in almost any kind of soil. And from what we've seen, from where we are, clay, rocky soil, it'll bust it up. Put 10 or 15 out there in the soil, bury them with some leaves, water them, and leave them. Don't harvest them unless you want to eat them. Just leave them out there. And over the years, they'll spread. And when you need them, we've done this in several areas in our property where we'll just plant some, and they'll grow and then die, then spread and grow. And once they're very invasive, so once you plant them, that area, you're not going to probably be able to grow very much there, because they're going to take over that area, and they will spread. I'm talking like if you have some people cut the skin off their artichokes. You cut the skin off your artichoke, and we've done it. We've composted them. We throw them in our compost bin, or throw them in our chickens, and the chickens won't eat it. Or let's say they didn't eat it. They for some reason got buried under leaves and they didn't see it. And we'll take it to our garden, the compost down, we'll take it to our garden. For some reason, that thing didn't decompose down. And next year, we'll have a random Jerusalem artichoke plant growing in a section. And then you pull it up, and then the next year, there's 4 there, or 6 there. So it's a very invasive plant. But if you're into preparedness lifestyles, as I am, it's a crop that you want to have. I would say I like potatoes. I'm very, very high on potatoes. On my list of 5 crops that I grow, potatoes is one of them. Brother Merlot, Shabbat Shalom. But Jerusalem artichokes, to me, are my game changer. If you want to produce food, if you have a very large family, plant a ton of them and let them go. Just let them go, and they will, by themselves spread and take over an area, and they give you nice, beautiful sunflowers because it's actually part of the sunflower family, and you're actually eating the root of it. But woo! And if you're looking for Jerusalem artichokes, not on this Shabbat, or not today, we sell them. So you could always go into my description of any of my videos and email me at hood to homestead. And from there, I will, we can discuss and how many you want and, and all that. And I'll send you a payment or where you can pay. And then, I do PayPal, or you can mail me snail mail to my PO box and I'll, get it from that way. But this year we're going to be selling. I'm not going to be selling as many different variety of seeds this year. I'm kind of cutting down on the different varieties of seeds I'm selling, and I'm focusing on probably 10 to 15 varieties. That's it. Last year, I think I sold 30 to 40 varieties. This year, I'll probably be focusing on 10 to 15 varieties of seeds or Jerusalem artichokes. We planted, Sister Taylor and some of the children today, they planted probably 700 bulbs of garlic. And what happened is because I'm making raised beds, I have 2 areas that are designated for garlic, 2 large areas designated by garlic. Michael, Shabbat Shalom, designated for garlic. And I had so many second-year garlic. They go to bulbils and then they fall. I had so many second-year garlic. So I found another area, dug up the soil, put some compost in it, and planted them. For Jerusalem artichokes, what do you do with the leftover canes flowers in the fall? Here's what I found out, brother. One, our goats like the Jerusalem artichoke canes. They like them a lot. So there's that. If you heat your house with a wood-burning stove, the canes, when they dry out, it's almost like a, what is that? What does it feel like? That white stuff is inside. We said it felt like something. It almost feels like cotton. The inside of the can, it feels like cotton. It's an excellent fire starter. Excellent fire starter. So we'll use some for that. And then the other ones, we'll just break them down and leave them in the garden. Now, the thick ones, you can actually use the thick ones for, they'll get thick and strong enough where you can use them if you were, building something. You could dry them out. You could probably heat treat them a little bit and get them a little bit harder, and you could probably use them for something. We don't really do that with that. We just either give them to the goats, we use them for fire starter, or we let them fall down in the garden and just become. And then because every winter, and I have a video coming about this, we just covered our Jerusalem artichoke garden over, probably with about 6 to 10 inches of leaves, and then next year they'll pop up through that, and the leaves become that compost. And I hope if you are a gardener or you are growing food, I hope that you cover your soil when you're not growing in it. Just cover your soil. Make sure that you cover your soil when you're not growing in your soil. Topsoil flies away, but also even in the raised beds that we started, I went through and dug around a little bit just to see how the soil life was doing, and we have thousands of earthworms in each bed because we put a ton of leaves. Most of the bed is leaves, and then we put a layer of soil on top to kind of insulate the leaves, and then a layer of leaves on top of that. So, and I don't put any I don't put any plastic on the ground like some people do for their raised beds. I didn't do that. So the earthworms are coming from in the soil into the raised bed, and they're having a field day. Field day. Leaves, that Sister Aspen, when you got that many leaves, it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom to everybody coming in. Also, with the canes, I think the children last year used them for like herding the goats, because they like herding the goats around the property. So they'll herd the goats with them, and the goats ate them. They would try to herd the goats, and the goats would eat them. My kids are all into a competition this next growing season. If we can digest Jerusalem artichokes, I'm going for it. We all have digestion issues. We're just strange. I will tell you, Jerusalem artichokes will give you gas. There is a way to cook them where you won't get so much gas, but you're gonna have some gas. You're gonna have some gas. All right. So, Tanisha just said the key to Jerusalem artichokes and like beans and kind of cutting down the gas is to put bay leaves.
I read that.
Oh, she read it. She read it. We haven't tried it yet. We usually use our bay leaves in our food storage. Brother David, my beloved brother. Shabbat shalom, Brother David. Hallelujah. Yes, sir. So that's what we've been doing. I've been making more garden beds, of course. Finally finished one of the garlic section, and then we getting milk from our goats, just the homestead life. Sister Taylor had a great idea that we're probably gonna do. We're gonna do a gangster a gang video. For those of you who've been, used to be part of the streets, whatever, you had Thug Life. We're gonna have a Homestead Life video. We all gonna be wearing like red and blue rags, or they might have a pink one or a green one. We're gonna be looking hard. And then the video's gonna be called Homestead Life. We're gonna be like, with our guns, it'd be gangster. It's gonna be Homestead Life. That was funny. But we actually are serious about it. We're actually gonna do that video. It's gonna be a family video. It's not really the gas issues, okay. It's not really the gas issue. We have a hard time to digest food that's very dense. Oh, okay. It's very dense. I mean, you can't. I've actually heard people whipping Jerusalem artichokes, like they whip potatoes. I've actually heard people doing that. Oh no, she's at it. Homestead Life. We were working in a goat pen. We were raking up some of the old goat hay, and I was behind the goat pen, and I just said Homestead Life, and she was like, "Master, what the heck did you just say?" I was like, "Oh, you heard that?" She's like, "If you're gonna say it, you have to do it like you used to do it. You out in the streets. Say it loud." I was like, "Oh, Homestead Life," and then we laughed. Mr. Moore said, "West Side walking onions."
Right.
I mean, the name of my food, the seed selling business is Hood to Homestead. So y'all are giving me some ideas. West Side walking onions. Yeah, son. West Side walking onions, son. Hey, young blood. It's West Side walking onions. Okay, I'm sorry. I just thought it would be funny. Are your Gangster Gardener t-shirts going to be pink? No, Brother Gary. But that's a great idea. Can you imagine us selling some Gangster Gardener t-shirts? Brother Gary, you just gave me an idea. West Side walking onions. For those of us that like to garden who've been from the hood or something like that, it's coming. T-shirts are coming. It's coming. We're going to have some fun with this. It'll be especially funny if Brother Gary wore the shirt. Brother Gary, I'm going to send you a shirt so you can wear it. And I'm like, is he wearing a West Side walking onion t-shirt? Yes. Sister Lovely Night said, yeah. Oh, Brother Gary said he wants 10%. That's cool. I'm cool with that. Ain't no biggie. I'll throw you a little 10% commission. It was your idea. And then, Brother Gary, I meant to answer your onion roots are Jordans or Air Force Ones. I'm doing it. I'm doing a West Side. I'm doing a Homestead Life, where that's what we're gonna be. That'll be our little gardening, call out for those of us, who do this. Homestead Life. Hey, where you from? Hey, don't mess with that fool. Why? He's a homestead. Oh shit. Oh, damn. Hey, don't mess with him. Where they come from, they go hard. Man. They put it in the soil. They like Hey, the one thing that they know how to do is they know how to compost. So I wouldn't mess with him. They'll just compost. They know how to hide it. They'll compost it down. Brother David said, with the veggies leaning to the side of the t-shirt, right? Have all like the tomatoes and all like the carrots, the corn, all lean like this. With glasses on. We'll put like some bandanas on some of them. This is gonna be gangster. We doing it. We doing it. We're doing it. Veggies with a gangster lean. We can have a t-shirt. Veggies with a gangster lean. Have all the vegetables. See, we got t-shirt ideas. We're going big. Brother Gary wants 10%. That's cool, Brother Gary. We're going big. Thank you. Oh, our slogan? We put them in the dirt. That's gangster. Because it's like we put the vegetables in the dirt. But people would assume it's a gang t-shirt. You're putting the bodies in the dirt. But no, we put the seeds in the dirt. The compost in the dirt. Now, the compost, we don't know. Hey, the compost could be anything. Could be anything. But it's in the dirt. You know that one method you missed? You could be eating them right now. He could be providing nutrients for your carrots. I love playing with Sister Taylor, because Sister Taylor, she was she I want to say uppity, but she was more class. She was from Britain. You're not really from Britain, but DC, Britain. But Big was sort of like me, who was kind of, she was the complete opposite of the streets. So having conversations with her, like, she got gangster today. We're not gonna talk about what she got gangster over. Was it yesterday or yesterday? No, about the dance that you did.
That was today.
That was today. I might share it.
Please do. I'm waiting for you to perform.
Oh, I'm not gonna do it. You're sure you're performing it. But yeah, so we're gonna have some fun with this. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna contact some people and see if we can get some t-shirts made. Get them out there. It's just to have some fun. Promote the homestead life in a completely different way. It's not gonna be your normal guy. It'll be guy with a pitchfork and a bandana tied around the end of the pitchfork. He's a homesteading gangster. Yeah, more relatable. You know what? That's a great point. I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times the things that we do, like even talking about homestead, I can't tell you how many people come and have messaged me and thanked me because they don't see homesteading as relatable to who they are or where they've come from. You know what I'm saying? So they think that in order to be a homesteader, you gotta wear overalls and you gotta, overalls are convenient. I really love wearing overalls when I work out there. Or like cargo pants. I want a lot of pockets, things like that. But I didn't come out here and forget who I was. There you go. Brother David said you were posh.
Okay,
Posh. She was posh. She was the type of a woman that be carrying her damn poodle in her purse. Don't tell me you wouldn't. Tell me you wouldn't. You know that'd be a lie.
I cannot.
You can't say it because I'd be like, look. In fact, if we had met each other like 5 years ago, I don't know. She would have looked at me and be like, him? Is his name Pookie? I'm like, shit, it might be. You're not 5 years ago, like maybe 10 years ago. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I would have called her Karen and she would have called me Pookie. Like, look at you, Black Karen. That's mean, huh?
It is me.
Okay, I won't say it again. Hebrew Karen. I didn't say black. Got a blast country western to Homestead now. Well, that's right, Brother David. That's right. The whole you got to bump. All my exes live in Texas. Okay, I'll stop. My son's like, no, don't stop. Yeah, Brother David said we bumped some Bizzle, some Seven. We just be rolling. We might have an impromptu worship service out there while we're gardening. You might have an impromptu dance session while we're gardening. We have fun. That's the one thing that people think when comes to homesteading. Yes, it's hard work. We work hard. but we have fun. We joke, we laugh, we play around. We might drop all the tools and start chasing each other around the property, just playing an impromptu game. We have fun. We have great family times out here. And I think that for men, it really does. I'm gonna say this, and I'm being real. It really does matter who you have in your house as men, because some people can really sap out the energy. Lawnmower on doves. Have my tiller on doves. I could do that. Some spinners on it.
That is hilarious.
G unit, gardening unit. Oh, just gotta make sure I don't, it's not copyrighted. I don't get in trouble for that. See, we got ideas now. Everyone's rolling with this. But yeah, we have fun. But having the right unit in your house, having the right people in your house makes a big difference. If you get people who aren't like, if you're a playful person, like generally in the household, you say I'm playful, right? Nah. What about you, Tootie? You think I'm playful? Oh yeah, me and my daughter were playing. She was a pirate, and I was Polly, and Polly wanted a cracker. So she wouldn't give me a cracker, and she's the captain of the ship, I tried to sit on her shoulder. So that's what parents do. So we're over here laughing, and that's the way I am, generally. I have fun, I work hard, I play hard, and then I'm passionate about everything that I do, including protecting my family. So, we were just having some fun, but that's my first. But if you have people that are very, very, I don't know, sticklers and very professional and all that, and that's not who you are, then you may want to look into that. Now, so Taylor was a very professional. I mean, she's still a professional. She's got works a very good job and went to school for these things and all this. I went to school. I didn't use none of it. That's the difference between me and her. But she's playful. She knows how to play. She knows how to laugh. It don't mean that as a man in the household you don't have to correct and rebuke. But I also know how to have fun. I also know how to enjoy the members of my family. So I'm a playful dude around my family. In public, I'm the complete opposite. Around my family, I'm very, very playful. And so in order to be with a person like me, you have to be able to joke. And would you say I'm brutally honest?
Yes.
Is it brutally or is it just
No.
Brutal? Oh, it's been she said it. No, it's brutal. Okay, I was trying to take a little bit off of that, but you wanted to make sure that I had the full brutal. Okay, I am brutally honest. Right, Hebrew Rapaholic, right. And when you do work so hard, Brother Donald said, I live in Amish County in northern Indiana, and we are very hard workers. Right. I will work my butt off. We did it today. I have no problem with it, but I want to have some fun too. And for some people, what I learned about this faith is a lot of people come into this faith and they act like they got to be like a gangster, like an OG, like a killer out there in the streets. I'm like, dude, I be having fun. My life is not miserable. I enjoy my life. And a lot of people live lives, and I'm like, you look at some of these campites, and you're like, damn, y'all look like your life sucks. Like you're walking around all day looking like you sucked on a lemon. Like, come on now. That you be looking like Debo from Friday. All the time. And life's not supposed to be like that. I enjoy laughing. I enjoy, adult time. I enjoy life. The Most High gave us a gift. He gave us a gift. And he told us how to live life and to live it so that you can receive the blessings more abundantly. So if you're walking around, your life sucks, and you're always like, I get on Facebook sometimes, I listen to people talk, and some of people are like, they're always talking about how their life is terrible. I'm like, damn, you need to get married, especially women. Oh, you nod your head? Yeah, because you talk to them. You're looking like your life is miserable. Like how are you not smiling? How are you not happy? How are you not joyful? And if your life is that bad, then why are you doing the same things that got your life that bad? You're not going to change it by doing the same damn thing. Do something different. Change who you are. Stop waiting for the world to change so that you can laugh. You change you. Sister Latoya Logan, Shabbat Shalom. Change who you are. So life's not so you're not so damn miserable. Nobody likes being around miserable people. Nobody does, except other miserable people. So I look at some of these dudes and it's like, damn, you take every picture you take, you mean mugging. Is that supposed to mean you're hard? Does that mean you're hard because you're not smiling? Like, damn, your life sucks. Damn. It doesn't mean you're not, like I said, Sister Taylor said, I be, rebuking, and I'm brutally honest. Brutally honest. I will tell you if it hurts your feelings, I tell you the truth, I'd rather it hurt your feelings. I would. I'd rather it hurt your feelings and you know the truth, so you know if Chris ever says something to me, he's being honest. I don't give any of them just random compliments that aren't true. If I say you look good, they know they look good because Chris will also equally tell you why the hell you wearing that for. I will equally tell you that skirt, and you need to put that shit in the fire. Don't even keep it, just burn that shit. I'll tell you that too. yeah. Sister, come here and say what I said this to her one time, and her mouth was like, go ahead.
And he said, that don't look right on you. That does not fit your shape. You need to get that to somebody else. I don't want to see that on you. He said, make you look too fat or something.
But I'm being honest.
I was like, oh.
Because how many times do men say things that are a lie? Like, let's say your wife wears that one skirt, that flowery dress that looked like the woman from Golden Girls was wearing it. She's wearing that. But she thinks she looks good to you. And because you don't tell her the truth, you're like, oh, girl, yeah, you look fine. First of all, you're a liar now. You're lying to her. And now, for the next 3 years, she wore that same skirt every time y'all went out somewhere. And you annoyed every single time she wore it. Like, man, even your homeboys are kind of like, hey, bro. I mean, it's your wife. You do whatever you want to. I ain't trying to trespass or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's your property. I'm just saying, though. The very bright. Very bright. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'd just rather be honest with you. So that way, when they actually wear something that I like and I tell them, hey, I like that, they're not going to be like, he's making this shit up. I remember there was a time, I was talking to a dude, and he was trying to get, he didn't know how to be real with his wife. He wanted to bring polygyny to his wife. And he was like, well, how do I approach her? And I said, well, if your wife is wearing something that you don't like, do you tell her? If she's doing something that you don't like, and she may be doing it to try and please you, and you don't like it, and you do not like it, do you tell her? He's like, no, man, she's she'll bitch me out. I'm like, so you ain't ready for polygyny, man. You ain't ready for it. You're not ready for that talk, and you have not created enough order in your home where she's ready for that talk. Because if you can't tell her that she don't look nice in a skirt, how are you gonna tell you want another wife? Come on now. Mr. Moore said, be honest with me, following your show. Does my keyboard make me look fat? That's a great example of how a lot of marriages fail. Men being too afraid to be honest, and thus women being confused. They think they're pleasing you because of the lies told. Oh, let me put that up there. Let me put that up there. This is straight up facts.
You'd be like,
right, and then you end up being a man. Well, I was just saying that to be nice. And she's like, well, did I ever ask you to say things to me? I would rather you have been honest with me. I was trying to please you. But I guarantee what Brother David is saying right there is the truth. It's the truth for a lot of men. Your marriage is failing and you're causing the weaker vessel to be confused because you're unwilling to be straight up and honest with her. and tell her exactly what it is. Hey, you don't look, especially men. And, this is an adult channel, but especially men. If your wife's trying to please you, let's say in a more adult-orientated way, some of y'all will be like, well, I'll just let her wear that even though I don't like it. So you're lying to her. So now and then later on you come by and say, she's like, well, why don't you compliment me when I wear this anymore? Well, honestly, I didn't like it. So now you're saying that. So now she's like, so I'm married to a dude now who doesn't have enough respect for himself and respect for me and enough patriarchal authority in our home to tell me the honest truth so that I can be pleasing to him. So instead, here I was bullshitting him, wearing something that he did not like. So now the next time that he says he likes something, how am I supposed to believe it? Nope. Not me. Not me. I'll tell you the straight up truth. Like, hey, nah, not that one. Don't wear that. Well, why? Yeah, so here we go. Hold on. Strap on your belts. I tell them all the time, hey, don't ask me a question you don't want the answer to. I'm gonna give you the answer. So if you say, I wonder if this makes me look, before you finish that sentence with that last word, just know if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you. And then you're gonna say, see, you don't even like me. You don't think I'm sexy. You didn't ask me, do I think you're sexy? You asked me, do I like that? And does it make you look? And the answer to the question is, yes, it does make you look that. And no, I don't like it. There you go. I know not to wear something if my head say, you gonna wear that? This is what Kathy said. When the dude comes, when you come out and the dude's like, oh, you gonna wear that? No, I was gonna go in there and change immediately.
I was just yeah. These were my work clothes.
Yeah. Right. Hebrew Alcoholic said it's no insult, it's just honesty. I'm not insulting you, I'm not hating on you, I'm trying to preserve our marriage. And I want our marriage to be built on honesty and truth, not lies and bullshit. So I'd much rather you respect me and know Chris is being honest with me, he's going to be honest with me, than for you to think that I'm going to be a liar. And I lie to you, because now you're going to lie to me. Sister Colleen said, uh-oh, I saw her comment. Oh, I wanted my husband to have wives, but he said he can only handle one. That's honesty. That's what men need to do. And he probably said that because he meant it. A lot of men today will be like, yeah, I only want one, knowing that he wants 3 more. If that man, I've talked with some of y'all brothers that are probably listening to it now or listening to it afterwards. You asked me about polygyny. I said, if you wanted more wives and let's say your wife heard the channel or heard somebody else mention the word polygyny, and she looks at you and say, do you want more? And you say, no, you ain't ready. You ain't ready. You can't be honest with her. You can tell her I want more, but at this point in time, I need to evaluate myself. But to tell her no, you lying. Right, Bird J. Morris, no cojones. No cojones. Gotta gird up them loins before telling the truth. you gotta be ready. And that's another thing. Yeshua said, and before a man goes to build, he's foolish if he does not first count the cost. Now he's talking about the walking with him, and you have to be ready to lose your family, because to walk with Yeshua, you're gonna lose things. That's what he's talking about. But you can apply it to so many things in life. If you've been a very feminine like man with your wife, and one day you're just gonna step out and tell the honest truth, just be aware that you built this terrible tower And now you're going to step out and man up. Make sure you count the cost. You have to literally be ready if you decide to stand up to your wife to lose her. Are you ready to lose your wife? Because you say, I'm going to follow this book. I'm going to serve Yah. And hey, I may want polygyny. I want to move to a piece of property. I want to buy my own piece of property and move out in the middle of the Ozarks or the middle of the Appalachia. I want to move there. Did you count the cost? And are you ready for the possible consequences? And a lot of you men aren't. So you are where you are in your life, not because of your choice, but because where you are is her choice. She's chosen for y'all to live in that apartment or in that city or in that house. That car you just bought, you didn't buy it because you saw it was the most effective and efficient car that you can afford. You bought it because you wanted it. Bro, Daryl said, some women, though, can't handle you being honest with them. I say that because sometimes they'll ask you what you think, and if they don't like what you think, they get mad. Why ask them? Brother Daryl, let me put that up there. I have had that conversation. I'll be honest with y'all. I have had that same conversation in my own house. Don't ask me no question unless you want the answer. Because I'm going to give you the answer. And then if I give you the answer and you don't like it, don't start arguing with me, because I ain't trying to hear that. Especially when they get into that, so why'd you marry me then? I'm like, I ain't trying to hear that shit. That is stupid talk. I'll bring the Bible out. I'm honest. Hey, the book says, foolish and unlearned questions avoid because they do gender strife. This question that you're asking right now, even though in your heart you think you're asking it for the best intention, this question is here to gender strife. It's a foolish and it's an unlearned question that you're asking me right now. And since it's going to out. Since it's going to gender strife, I'm not answering it. Simple enough. And if you don't like my answer, then what you're basically saying is that you don't like the fact that I'm following the Bible. That's what you're saying. And let me say, Sister Colleen said, but polygyny is not for everyone. Let me put that up there, sister. And I would hope more. And here's what I'm learning. I'm learning an astonishing thing. Boys, stop. I used to think that more or less it's always the women that aren't ready for polygyny. I'm learning more and more that it's more of the men. And it's not a financial thing. It's not, well, you got to make a ton of money, because I know there's a lot of women who are willing to join households and they're like, listen, the guy can, as long as there's a roof over our head, there's food, I'm cool. I'll even go to work. You know, one thing you don't ever hear me say is because a lot of people, they want to go on YouTube and tell you how to do polygyny. They want to tell you how to do your marriage. I used to actually kind of hint at these things. And anything else, I left them alone. Because how a man decides to run his home is nobody's business but him and the father and his household. It's not my business of whether the man wants to get 3 wives and they're all busting their ass in the system. That's none of my business. Is he sinning? Now, I know people out there will go out there and give you their opinion. Well, she shouldn't be this and she shouldn't be that. Listen, the question is she in sin, or is the head of the household in sin? Yes or no? If they don't, then it's none of your business. Why are you giving your opinion on other dudes' houses? You are very comfortable trespassing everywhere you go. But if you can't provide proof, text, law, sin, then it's your opinion. So I found out that most men are not ready for polygyny because they still worry about the world. They still worry. They don't have a focus or a vision that they're operating in. That's what I've noticed. They have not yet figured out, can I go on a path and continue on that path without getting off? Because if you're not strong enough to do it, you have to understand that women will change your heart after whatever functions or things that they want to do. And then I don't think that they're always doing it intentionally, but they just have their opinions. And in this Western world, their opinions have always carried weight. They have always carried weight in today's society. That's exactly, brother Donnie Bracey said, you're right, polygyny is not for everyone. Some men can't even take care of one, physically, emotionally, or even sexually. Most men can't. So I used to look at it and say, well, we don't have a lot of these westernized women, but what I found out is this. For just as many westernized women as we have westernized men. We have westernized, we talk against the westernized woman. Well, I know this is not on the topic, and I apologize. We're going to get to the topic. But we don't ever ask ourselves the question, all right, bro, let's discuss this. What does the westernized man look like? We said we don't like modern women. But what does the modern man look like? We don't ever have that discussion, do we? Man, Yohanatan said, some of these men are liars too. If you gotta lie, you ain't ready for polygyny. Right. Emmett Seeker says, some men are worried about what other people think. If that's the case, you ain't ready. Man, Brother Chris S. a wallet full of credit cards. That's right, funding a life and you completely in debt. Here's a good question. When I look at polygyny, I look at marriage as a whole, not just polygyny, marriage, monogamy or polygyny. I say this: marriage is very much a construction, building based agreement. You're building a family. You're gonna build your house. So if you are a man and you haven't built anything in your life that you can look at, yeah, you can look at. Go and look and say, look, I'm building this. Now, I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about husbandry, raising things up. If you haven't raised anything up, if you haven't shown a great worth ethic, not good, not decent, great, what makes you think you're ready for all these things? Would you say, well, Brother Darrell, I'm posing the question to all of us. What does the modern, because men, we focus so much on the modern Western woman, the weave, the nails, the attitude, the lack of submission. So what does the modern Western man look like? If you and your woman wear skinny jeans, rock a purse, and got a bun in your hair, you ain't ready. And again, I'm not talking about money for you brothers. You notice when I talk about polygyny, when I talk about marriage, I never bring up money. Because there are women that are willing to be with a man as he starts his life out. He ain't got to be wealthy or rich. There it is, Brother David. Man, now we're talking. Let's talk, brothers. Most men worship convenience and lack responsibility. They worship convenience. There are men out there that worship attention just as much as women do, if not more than women do. What other thing, man? We talk about the modern woman. Let's talk about the modern man. What about him? Because we all know what some of the things that would disqualify a woman. A baby daddy. A baby daddy would disqualify her. Okay, cool. We have too many lazy men. Brother Yohanatan, yes, we have too many visionless men. We have too many men that don't know where they're going. If you ask your man, what is your plan for the next year? Or a man you're interested in, what is your plan for this next, not 2023, the turn of the Hebrew year? What is your plan? If you can't adequately see him moving in that plan, Let me tell you, he ain't got no vision. He don't know where he's going. I can't tell you how many men will call and ask, you know, and tell you that I want to be held accountable. Cool, all right, I feel you. Which one to be held accountable for? I'm looking for land. All right. How much money you got right now? 1,500. You know, he's kind of embarrassed. I'm like, hey, no, 1,500 is cool. Hey, it's cool. So what are you looking to do? Well, I'm gonna save up 500 a month for a whole year. So you got $6,000. You'll have $6,000 on top of that. Hey, that's a nice down payment on a piece of property. You can get, you know, yourself a couple acres. You can put a nice down payment on a piece of property with 6, 7, 8 grand. You know, 5, 10 acres. That's good. That's good. All right. I'll holler at you in a year. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother Chris. Yeah, it's cool. You talk to him a year later. So what's going on? How close are you? Well, I have $200. Wait. You started off with 1,000 last year, and now you have 200. What happened? Well, you ain't got that vision yet. You ain't got it yet. Sorry. You ain't got it yet. Because there's something about men with vision. When I was storing up my money to buy this property, we had one of our cars break down. The transmission went out. And I didn't have the money to repair the transmission. So it sat. And I drove a 1992 Plymouth Grand Voyager to work. It wasn't cool. It wasn't sexy. But the damn thing got me from point A to point B. And I worked that plan. I didn't get my transmission. Well, see, most people don't know is when I first moved out here, I towed my Tahoe out here. And one of the brothers around Shofar Mountain actually took the vehicle on his property and kept it there for almost a year. And then, this land wasn't ready for it. I couldn't get onto this property. But I followed the vision. You see a lot of he were up 1,000 to 200. When you have that vision, brothers, it changes. You know that vision is from the Most High Yah. It changes you. It drives you. And here's the interesting thing. I'm on my vision. The Father put me on. I'm not bringing any women into my household who cannot submit to me because I am submitting to the vision that the Father gave me. So if she's like, well, I have my own dreams, well, then you should go do your own dream. To me, that's a cutoff immediately. I'm talking to a woman, well, I have my own dreams and aspirations. No problem. You can have your own dreams and aspirations. That's cool. But my vision, nowhere in my vision did the Father tell me to take heed to another woman's dreams and aspirations. Never. He didn't say, hey, Chris, hey, son, hey, I'm the Most High. Oh, Father, yes. So, see, she's going to have a vision. I want you to follow it. Oh, okay, Father, I'll do it. Oh, yeah, and by the way, Taylor's going to have one too. And Ebony's got a vision. Oh, okay. And then their visions are, everybody wants to go separate directions. Somebody wants to go to New York, somebody wants to move to LA, and somebody wants to move to Detroit. I'm like, well, Father, you gave me, okay, so which part of my body is supposed to be the ones going to Detroit? So there it is, but Mr. Morris, look at this. Mr. Morris said, right there, you said it, the Father put you with this vision. The modern man is fatherless. Man, brother. Woo! Are you smoking now, brother? Woo! Mm. That's the truth. In today's society, most modern men don't have a father. So then they don't really know how to have a relationship with the Father because they don't have a father. Most men don't understand vision. Therefore, it's hard for them to understand marriage because they don't understand vision. They don't understand what it means for the Father to give them something. And if the Father gives me a vision, anything that gets in my way of that vision needs to be eliminated. Anything. Well, what if you're part of this ministry? Anything. I'm not only am I cutting the ministry off, I'm not even going to listen to them because that's if the Father told me to stop going there, he probably wants me to stop listening there. He probably wants me to stop fellowshipping there. He probably wants me to leave that alone. Right? That's like y'all saying, hey, I want you to leave the land of the Philistines, Chris, but you can keep listening to Goliath. I want you to leave Christianity, but keep listening to those teachers and pastors over there. Nah, at that point, I just realized, hey, brother, you're not ready. I know you want polygyny. I know you want a wife, but you're not. You don't even know how to lead yourself yet. You don't even know how to control yourself yet. You're not ready. And it had nothing to do with finances. Had nothing to do with how much money you made. Didn't have nothing to do with what the world says. What it has to do with is a simple fact that you can't state something and get it done. You can't. When I look at Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, when I look at the men in the Bible, I see they did what they said. So as we were talking about, you shouldn't be going from $1,000 for your homestead to $200 for your homestead in a year. You said you're going to put $500 away. Well, then, damn it, put $500 away. But it's going to be tough. Put $500 away. But that means 1 month I may have to eat rice. Put $500 away. That's what you said, right? Be a man of your word. See, being a man of your word is something that modern Western men don't understand. They don't understand what it means to be a man of the word. So you tell your wife stuff, and in reality, there's a large probability that most of the stuff that you tell her is a pipe dream. You're a liar. Baby, we about to do this. And she watches you year after year after year get further away from that thing that you said you're going to do. Year after year, there's a new excuse. Year after year, new excuse. But then you want to know about polygyny. You haven't even bridled yourself yet. Can you say something and do what you said you were going to do? Can you do that? You said 500. I mean, at least did you do 4? I understand you had a complication. Okay, cool. Did you do 4 at least? $400 a month. Put away. Did you do that? Well, you ain't ready. So maybe we'll have a live stream about that. We've talked. It's all over the internet now. Everyone wants to talk about westernized and modern women, and I've fallen into that myself. We've never talked about the modern man, because the Bible says in Apocrypha, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. So we talk about women all day long. But what about you busted ass niggas out there that are mostly? It's a lot of them doing all the talking. And I'm sorry to use that language. It'd be some busted ass niggas be the ones doing all the talking about women. And I'm not excusing the women, because the women are, the Bible says what it says about women. I ain't ducking and dodging that. And if you listen to these streams in any amount of time, you know I ain't got no problem going there. But let's talk about this for a second. The modern man. The modern westernized man. Because Pookie and Ray Ray ain't the modern westernized man. They are a small subset of the modern westernized man. Like my brother Mr. Morris said, fatherless men. Fatherless men are the reason. You think you got a father. You think you got a father in heaven. You think so. What's your vision, brother? Why are you in the same position year after year? Brother Chris, it did mine too. It did mine too. Even before you put away money, are you looking at land for sale and visiting areas to keep the vision fresh and stay motivated? Oh, brother, you on fire right now, brother. Oh, man. Are you visiting areas? Are you keeping that vision alive? Because a vision will die. Many of us men today are the same. We have the same type of character, demeanor, spirit as the parable of the three servants. See, everybody thinks they're the one that got the 5 talents, or you think that you're the one that got the 2 talents. Most men today fall in the one that got the 1 talent. Most men took that talent and buried it in the sand. And they knew the master was a hard master. He sowed, he reaped where he did not sow. He gathered where he did not plant. They know that about Yeshua. They know that about Yah. What in your right mind, think about this logically, man. What in your right mind would make the father want to give you a second wife? What have you done with the first one? Or what have you done with yourself that makes him believe that you are capable of the work of a husbandman? So the husband is husbandry, husband, raising things up. You can't raise your own ass up. But you want to be in a position to raise up women and children. And again, I'm making sure that we're not talking about finances. We're not talking about how much money you make. We're not talking about that. That could be a whole different discussion. But in reality, if a woman's wanting to marry you and you make $15,000 a year, and a second woman comes in and says, hey, I make $15,000 a year and I'm willing to marry you too. Who am I to say anything about that? I ain't nobody to say nothing about it, so I don't. But where's that vision? You couldn't have a failed modern woman with a failed modern. Right, brother David. That's absolutely the truth. Took me a second to read it. a lot. This society is so messed up, where we think it's always somebody else's fault for why we are where we are. Another problem is that today's modern man believes too strongly in the concept of happy wife, happy life, even at the risk of losing out with Yah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, brother, I fully believe, Brother Darrell, let me put that up there, Brother Darrell. Brother Darrell, I fully believe that's because that man doesn't have a vision. If Yah's put you on a vision, I'm going to be real. I don't have even close to happy wife, happy life. I have follow the vision. And if the wife ain't happy, and to be honest, if I'm not happy, I'm following the vision. There was nothing that I was not happy when I was putting in 60 to 72 hours a week and was driving an hour to work and an hour back. And my days were 14, 15-hour days. And then I would come home and work on the homestead for 5 and 6 hours and sleep for 3. There was nothing about happy in that. I did it for the vision. I did it for the vision. All these wonderful children. Yah's blessing me. So much is given, much is required. He's requiring more from me. So that I go and I seek the Father's face. Father, what do you have of me now? What do you have of me now? I'm going to be honest with you. When I have children, every child I'll take off to, by myself somewhere. Usually to the rock. I take it to the rock. And I stand before the Father and I ask him, you gave me another healthy child. What would you have me do? What are you requiring from me? You didn't give this to me so I could run around gloating about, hey, I got another child. I got another son. I got another daughter. You gave it to me for a reason. What would you have of me? If a woman's interested in me, Father, what would you have of me with this woman? Because I already know the pussy and the ass and the titties are going to be there. I don't need to ask about that. What would you have me in regards to her? You brought her to me, so therefore she is going to help in my vision, but I am a husbandman. I am to raise her up to maturity, which is what the word nurture means in Ephesians 6. Sorry, Ephesians 5. Husbands, nourish and cherish your wife. That word nourish means to raise her up to maturity. What would you have me to do? Otherwise, you might just end up being, you can be a Solomon. You don't need 900 or 300 wives and 600 concubines to be a Solomon. You can be a Solomon with one wife and have her turn your heart away from the Most High Yah. It only takes one. So again, this has nothing to do. We've talked about the modern woman, the weave wearing modern woman, baby daddies, this, that, loud, boisterous. What about you, men? Sister Latoya said, what are your thoughts on women working? People I know think women should work. I don't think so. Here's what I think about women working. Each man runs his own house. Each man runs his own house. And I used to believe women should not work. But then I read the book. And I started to understand things. And I started to understand this modern society that we live in. And I started to understand just things in general. And then I came to the conclusion of, one, it's none of my business of whether a man, a woman works. If a man is equipped and has the capabilities of structuring his house without losing that from a woman, 'cause I know certain ministries say, if your woman works this, that, and the other, then this, that, and the other. Here's my answer to that. All I'm asking you to do is this: show me in the Bible, because I can show you women in the Bible that were in the fields with their father's animals. Was it Rachel? Yeah, Rachel, was it? Rachel was in the field working with the animal. So I always do this. Brothers, it's your house. How I run my house does not have to be, because I used to be one of those, I run my house and mine don't work, so yours work, you're a weak man. That the Bible don't say that. That was my made up shit. I made up some shit and I put it in the book of Exodus, Galatians, chapter 4, verse 3. Thus saith Chris, women should not work. And it wasn't in the Bible. It wasn't in the Bible at all. So, how I look at a woman who works must submit to another man, just my opinion. I do believe that in the ways that she has to submit to other men too. But I also look at it and I say this: part of our issues is the lack of finances. The lack of finances. Hey, the world's falling apart. And okay, I'm gonna give you my opinion on this. Okay, my opinion. I'm not doing this to cause an argument. Just my opinion. A woman in a man's house is not for other men to dictate. It's my opinion. That's right. Brother Darrell said Jethro's daughters also worked in the fields with his flocks. A woman, I didn't see Brother Davis' comment. A woman is there for her husband. So if that's one of the values she can bring him, then why is it that another person's opinion can sway that? Wait. Everyone's saying, Brother David says, let me get there. A wife should be used by her husband however that husband sees fit. Working in the home, out of the home, it's all for the benefit of the household. This is what Brother David, good, I'm going to drink to that. Brother David. This is one of the things that I believe a lot of I'm gonna have to change the title of this stream. This is the thing that a lot of modern westernized men don't understand. We keep submitting ourselves to other thought processes. We do. For instance, somebody says that this is the way you should run your house to be a man, and you believe that. Okay, so my question is, go to the book. And what you see in the book are men use their wives for the benefit of the household. That's what men did. I'm not saying that the woman should be out there and work busting her ass and he's at home chilling on the couch. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is the woman was made for the man, not the man for the woman. Y'all took the rib and made it for the man. Made woman for the man. So if the woman was made for man, he named her. You can, if you read the Bible, there are conclusions that you can deduct from the Bible. Like, for instance, we see that the women worked. And like, for instance, Proverbs 31, the woman considers a field and buys it. Well, did she do that from the internet? Does anybody understand what it took for a person to buy a field? Let's go to Proverbs 31. Let's go there. I saw my brother Dun, bless you, Dun. He put that verse up there. So let's go to Proverbs 31. Because a lot of women like to say, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. First of all, uh-oh. Proverbs 31. Let's go there. Let's start from verse 10. 10. All right, brothers. All right, bless you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They said we are on topic. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? The heart of her husband. So therefore, Proverbs 31 already tells you a virtuous woman is a married woman. She's not a single woman. You can't be a virtuous single woman. It's bullshit. You made that shit up. You're lying to yourself. I'm gonna read what the book says. Her husband, what the first qualification of a virtuous woman is, the heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. First thing. So you cannot be it without a wife, without a husband. What people don't understand in life, there are qualifiers, there are qualifications that make you capable of reaching the next step. In college, we understand it as the prerequisites. You must meet the prerequisites to go into the upper division courses. That's why in most colleges, your first 2 years, all you're doing is studying what they call your underclass, the classes that aren't anything to do with your major. Your prerequisites. Go to a JC, take care of those. Save yourself a lot of money. You don't start getting until the upper, into your major until your junior and senior year. And then for some of y'all, the next 12 years after that. I don't make no sense. I ain't going to school. I graduated. They said, see you later. I said, see you later. They said, you want to come back? I said, no. No, I'm not going back nowhere. But to do your master's? They said, would you like to do your and I said, say the word. I don't know if you will. Say the word. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field. This is a she considers a field. Well, how did she get out there to consider a field? Did she do that from her laptop? Was she looking on homesteadfinder.com? She considered a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands, she planted a vineyard. I'm just saying what the book says. She did these things. That's part of your husband trusting in you. That's part of it. Here's what I would suggest. I would submit this, brothers and sisters. And I learned this. Maybe the reason why a lot of men today are worried about the submission issue is because your heart does not trust in your wife. I'm just saying. What do you think about a man trying to tell another man how to be a good husband to his wife, but he's divorced sometimes more than once? I'm going to have to agree with Brother Davidson. Oh, gosh. I'm going to have to agree. Right. How did she buy it? How did she buy the field? It said she considered it and she bought it. How did that happen? Now, do I keep my mind home? Majority of the time, yes. But here's one thing that I will say. I don't ever worry about. That's right. Tobit's wife took woman's work to do. Yes, Yohanatan. See, here's the thing. A lot of men, what you do is you listen to what these other churches and ministries say, and they fluff you up to make you think you're a man. And you say things like, well, and I'm not saying you, Brother Karen Pitts, because I used to say the same thing. My wife is submitting to another man if she does this or does that. And I started to realize, is she submitting to another man if she's doing what I said? Because if I called her and told her to leave, is she going to say no? I mean, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. See, I don't worry about that sort of stuff. When I went to work and my wives were at home, if I don't have, if it doesn't matter. See, some of y'all are worried about your wives submitting to other men. What I'm learning is some of your wives are submitted to other men because of their thought process. We're not worried about that. Does the lack of trust that a man has in his wife start with the man or with the woman? That's a good question, brother. I'm gonna answer that one. Let me clarify. Just because a man is divorced doesn't mean he has no counsel to give. Sometimes the righteous thing to do is to put a bill of divorce in her hand and send her out of his house. Yeah. Yes. Went to the church looking for the father and ended up with the daddy. So here's what I learned. I went to work, busted my ass. And this is years ago, back when we were in California and Arizona. And you come to find out that your wife is not submitted to you and you're at work. She's not running the house how you said to do it. So what I found out is when your wife is submitted to you, you don't have a worry. I'm not worried. Well, my wife is submitting to other men, or my wife is submit. No, because she can do that. And there's so many ways more than she went to work. Definitely depends on what the husband wants, but the purpose is important as well. I've heard some women say they need a break from their kids, so they work. So they want a certain lifestyle. That's right. That's Sister Susan. Yes. Yes. What is the purpose? Is she going to work because she don't want to be at home? Or did the husband say, hey, I'm going to go over here and hit this. You're going to go over there and hit this. You're hitting this part. I'm going to hit this part. Like I said, am I talking about the man sitting at home not doing shit? No. But I've seen some, and I'm going to be honest, I've seen some households that are rocking it out. Households with more than one wife. And that man had a vision. That man said, hey, I'm working. Whatever he did. She's working. And she's working. And now, the fact that we were making $30,000 a year is now $90,000 a year. That vision's moving, and their households together, they're cohesive, and they're rocking it out. And I never hear him say, my wives are submitted to their boss. I'm worried about my wives leaving me. I'm worried about. Look at the faith today. I'm being real with this shit. You see a lot of households where women are leaving men and the women are at home. Women are at home. That's right. Oh, Brother Donnie, submission will go smoother between a man and his wife if the man truly submits himself to Yah also. That's what I was talking about, the vision. If the woman sees he is submitted to his master, there's a high likelihood that she's going to submit to you simply because she's watching how you do it. I don't have a worry. None at all. At all. I'm pretty damn content and happy. I submit myself to the Father, and they've already seen, hey, Chris is willing to let women leave his house than to change his vision. You're damn right I am. That's exactly what it is, Brother David. Sometimes the problem is that the women are too idle. Work outside of the home would be good for some ribs. That's, man, brother. Man, especially if you're a sister and you don't have any children. If you're a sister and you don't have any children, it's like, well, you can go and go to work. But like I said, I decided my opinion doesn't matter. What some nigga on the internet said don't matter. What matters is, what does the book say? That's what matters. So if a man is operating within what the book says, I don't give a damn what these so-called teachers and elders said. That's their opinion. You remember, they need you. The world, they need you. They need you to believe them. That's all it is. Other than my brothers, no man came into our yard until my husband was home. That's exactly, man. Woo, Sister Colleen. See, we've been taught a different version of manhood. That's Brother Chris F. Brother Chris F. That, I didn't finish my statement. Brother, thank you for saying that. It would greatly expedite that vision. Some of you men are just trying to follow traditions of other men. So, yeah, I'm going to work at Taco Bell and my wife's going to sit at home. Let me just keep this shit real. Your vision is probably not going to be achieved with you working at Taco Bell. If your vision is, I want to own 10, 15 acres. On Taco Bell money, you can't even live in California, you ain't going to have enough. I'm just keeping it real. So what I learned is this. What's your vision, brother? Well, my vision is not going to look like them. They're going to talk about me. That means you gave them too much power already. If a person talking about you is going to affect you and your vision, you already gave them too much power. From the get-go. I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about that. Visions take resources. And you know, Brother David, a lot of men with no vision don't understand the amount of resources it takes. We have quite a few homesteading brothers in here in this chat right now. Homeowners, landowners, 1 acre, 5 acres, 10 acres, 50 acres, 100 acres, whatever, how many acres you own. And Brother Donnie, that's right. A man has no business marrying if he can't take care of that woman. That's right. But it does, see, taking care of a woman and moving a vision are two different things. Because taking care of a woman is relative. What does it mean to take care of a woman? Food, clothing, roof over your head, food, clothing, and then conjugal rights. So if he can put a roof over her head, if he can put food in her belly, he's taking care of her. Well, she needs to eat this. The Bible don't say that. Well, she needs to eat this. Well, she needs to go out once a week and or she needs to eat steak. The Bible don't say that. Food, covering, clothing, roof, conjugal rights. So what happened is a lot of women and feminine men took the words and started adding, well, it has to be this sort of home, and it has to be this sort of food, and it has to be this sort of clothing. Bible don't say that. I didn't see the Bible give us a brand. Thou shalt put Dolce and Gabbana on her, thus she's not taken care of. Oh, brother, no! Shit! Brother Yohanatan just slammed the door shut. Brother Yohanatan slammed the door shut, even in my face. A man that allows he knows his words, allows. He's allowing her. Even his words, Brother Yohanatan, even your words are on point. A man that allows his woman to work to expedite the vision is not the same as needing her to work to make ends meet. Taylor, when you came, did I need you to work?
No, ma'am.
In fact, we used to talk half the damn time throughout the night.
Yes, ma'am.
That's different. She didn't come here so that I could make ends meet. I had bought the property, built my house, had the gardens, had the vehicle, had all these things before she came. Am I wrong?
No, ma'am.
So she can expedite the vision, but she's not paying for us to eat. She's not paying or working so that the children have a t-shirt on their back. That's right, brother David. The rock was rocking before Sister Taylor arrived. Fellowship with my brothers before she arrived. So if you men are getting a wife so that you can make ends meet, or you're sending a wife to work so you can meet ends meet, that's a whole different story than those things are already taken care of. She just gonna expedite the vision. Man, that was good, Brother Yohanatan. That was the best way of that I could ever think of explaining that. Ever. Expediting the vision is different than, that's right, Brother Chris F said, one's fruitful and one's not. One man is fruitful and one man isn't. One man needs the woman to activate him. For those of you who've been in the channel for enough time, you remember that term, activate. She needs to activate them. Yeah, those gardens that y'all saw, the channel, go back in the channel. Look at all the videos of us on the channel. Those gardens were in, the food was growing, the fridges were packed, the chickens were clucking, the goats were dying. They were dying. Those were dying. I kept buying them and they kept dying. Now they're living, but I kept buying them and they kept dying. All those things were happening before Ebony arrived, before Sister Taylor arrived, before any of them arrived. Well, except for Sister T. That's right. Brother David said, but the Rock is also grateful and thankful for all that Sister Taylor brings to the table, not only financially. That's absolutely right. If I told Sister Taylor Sister Taylor, go out there and work 5 hours a day or five days a week, she'd probably go and do it. She'd be tired as hell, but she'd probably do it. And I told her, no. You're cutting back. You're cutting it way back. I mean, I'll go travel. No, you're not traveling. You're not going to travel. Even though you'd probably make me a millionaire. I just want you home. Yes, ma'am. Two different things. Two different things. I think for some men, they're not actually able to assess the skills that women can possess. I mean, let's just be honest. Some sisters out there are very capable in some areas and would benefit you, but because you're trying to adhere to some opinion or tradition of somebody else, you're not able to grow the way your homestead, your vision, the way you could be able to grow it. Imagine me taking in a woman to my household who's an attorney. And she's like, well, I can go to the office one day and or one day a week and I can make 100K a year. And my comment to that is, nah, you're going to homestead. You're going to be here and plant seeds in the garden. I have enough hands to plant seeds in gardens. Do I not? I mean, I can always expand my gardens. But let's just keep it real, brothers. That sister who's coming from a world and is saying, I want to homestead, I want to learn it, but I want to be the best benefit to you. There are work from home nursing jobs. We talked about that actually. We've actually talked about that, and eventually that's going to be a transition. If I need to even work at that time, I've got a lot of things going in the background right now. But Adia, thank you, sister. I am humbled and thankful. So let's be real, brothers. That attorney who could come into your household, that sister, and is willing and say, hey, I can work 1 day a week, 2 days a week at the job, and I can bring in 100K. Or I can go out there and I can plant rows of seeds. What's going to be more valuable to your homestead and your vision, brother? Let's keep this shit real. And I know women are going to take this. The women, these wild ass women out there, they're going to take this and make it a soundbite. See, he only wants women for this reason. It's not what I said. One of the things I never do is I never ask a woman how much money she makes when I'm talking. Did I ask you?
No, master.
She let me know at the end. Was that a test?
Yes. Ring.
Oh, I had to put the ring. Yeah, I had to put the ring on it, and then she was like, "Oh, by the way." I was like, "By the way, what?" And then it happened.
That's too funny. Put the ring on it.
Yeah.
If you like it, then you should.
Now, this is completely contrary to Western ideology. Oh, Brother David brought up the economical. He said, in economics, we call that comparative advantage. Yeah, it sounds right. I wasn't going to say that, but well, I mean, so none of the men are going to answer this question. A man with no vision does not know how to delegate his time, his life, and unfortunately, his wife wise. Brother Mr. Morris, you're knocking it on home, brother. You're knocking it on home. I hope that a brother can answer this question. Want to step up and answer this question? If a woman was an attorney and wanted to join your house as a second or third wife and was making $100,000 a year, working 2 days at the office, what's going to have a bigger impact than you moving towards your vision? Her planting seeds in the soil, or sewing diapers, or her making that 100K and bringing it to the homestead? And I'm still waiting for some men to answer this question. Sister Colleen answered the question. She said that 100K. Brother Dave said, oh, she's going to the office hands down. 100K. Brother Kid said, 2 days? Work it, baby. Emmett Seeker said that K. Yes. Yes. When you've already got the things going on the homestead. she's going to learn the homestead because she's not spending every day, right? She's not going to work every day. And if you're afraid of your wife's submission from 2 days, 3 days at the office, you already have a bigger problem. If you're worried, oh, she's going to be submitting to another man, and I could lose my wife, and she's not going to respect me anymore, you already have a big ass problem. And it's not her going to work. It's her not submitting and respecting you over other men, or you at all, and her submitting and respecting other men. Visions require resources. Brother Yohanatan, most men don't understand that, as surprising as it is. Brother David said it earlier, that visions require resources. Businesses require resources. That's right, Brother Chris F. You already have a trust problem if you're worried about your wife submitting to other men. She's going to come home and disrespect me. You already have a bigger issue. You have a bigger issue. Duh, you always maximize. Brother Gary said, now we're talking in the areas that I know Brother David likes. That men with visions understand, and we like this conversation. You always maximize every asset that you have when trying to achieve a goal. In other words, put her fine behind in an office chair that 1 day a week. It's that simple. It's that simple. And then she comes home. Sister Aspen said, that's what I was going to say. No male leadership when I worked affected my marriage in any way. This was never an issue. Look at Sister Aspen. Let me put that up there, Sister Aspen. She said, no male leadership when she worked affected her marriage in any way. She never was like, oh my gosh, he told me to go and follow these papers. Am I submitting to another man? Am I obeying him? Is my husband going to be dishonored? Am I losing my marriage? I'm feeling the spirit of Jezebel rising up inside of me. I'm feeling like I want to submit to my boss more than She never said that. She knew exactly why she went to work. Made the money, came home and said, hey, baby, bam, here's the check. Hallelujah. Anything else you need from me? She wasn't like, well, I'm going to take 10% off the top, then another 20%, because I'm the one working, nigga. Then another 60%, then 40 more percent, then 35%. You're like, wait a minute, that's 200. You're eating up my... Yeah, you went to work and I owe you. This is why you have to go to the book. Let's go to the book, Sirach. Sirach chapter 26. I know some of y'all are going to try to use this verse. Listen to this. Verse 22. Sirach 25. Sirach 25:22. A woman, if she maintain, that word maintain means she's the one keeping him afloat. She's paying his bills. He ain't doing shit, and she's taking care of him financially. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. She's going to be pissed off that I'm the one doing all the work, and you at home doing nothing. You at home doing nothing. Ridiculous. That's ridiculousness. But if you're worried about your wife submitting to other people, you have some fundamental issues inside of your home already. It's because you already kind of know she don't submit to you. When we go to work, does that mean we no longer submit to Yeshua? Of course not. Her going to work doesn't mean she submits to another man. Right. Now, if she comes home and don't submit to you, you have an issue. I'll submit this. I wonder how many will get in trouble when they meet the Father for the unutilized resources of his house. Oh, man. Can you imagine that, brother? Oh, let me put that up there. The Father's like, I gave you somebody to help push this vision even further. And you sat on it And that's like buying a pickup truck, like you see dudes do today. They buy a pickup truck, but they won't move 2x4s with their pickup truck because they want it to be a doll. You know what I mean? They don't want the bed to get scratched. They buy a trailer, but they don't want to throw nothing in the back of that trailer. Why'd you buy the trailer for? To look good? I bought the trailer to move groceries. No, I bought the trailer to move material. So the same way the Father uses me, you know, if I'm 6'3", 250, 260. When it comes to moving heavy logs, who moves them? I move the logs. I don't go to Pocky and do the 3-year-olds and say, I need y'all to move this. Mommy. I move them. Likewise, when it comes to sewing, y'all don't see me at the sewing machine. No, we ain't seeing me at the sewing machine, damn it. My skills are out here gardening, building, creating the businesses, adding to the home, getting on top of the roof for the 80th time, connecting the solar. That's where my skills are. My skills aren't sewing. So how much sense would it make to take 6'3", 260-pound guy who works out? We're not going to have you get the logs. We're going to send 5 of the sisters to go out there and get them. That one log, just like, you know, what happened today when we're moving pot. Well, you can come in here. Come on in. I want y'all to listen to this story. Utilizing the resources that you have. So we were in the goat pen, and we were moving what?
We're moving the.
You're too close to talk about it.
Yeah. We're moving the hay that the goats had already peed and pooped on and stuff to move to our gardens in our barrels.
So that we were moving the hay. It was a big 55-gallon barrel cut in half with wet hay they had pooped and peed on that we were going to move to our gardens because, like I said, Sister Taylor had planted like 8 million garlic today, and we were going to, you know, feed them with the natural manures and the ground covering for the garlic. And we had the big bin of hay, right?
Yes.
How many of y'all would have taken to move that big ass heavy barrel of hay? Probably 5 of them. So they were trying to struggle with that. Sister Tanisha had the baby. Sister Ebony had the shovel and some sticks that we were bringing out. We were trying to clear it out also. And I was carrying like some sticks, some chicken wire, and a couple of the tools.
Yeah.
While they're struggling with this big ass barrel of hay. So I said, stop. Here, y'all carry the tools. I'll carry the hay. And what that did is that opened up extra hands. So they were able to actually grab more stuff out of the chicken, out of the goat pen, more logs, larger branches out of the goat pen. And I carried the hay by myself. It would have been foolish for me to utilize them. 6 hands on moving a big container of hay when these 2 could do it. And I opened up, well, kind of 5 hands, you had the baby.
Yeah. So
I opened up 5 hands to carry more stuff than for me and these 2 hands to carry those small things. It's utilizing things appropriately that we don't understand. I don't sew, so I don't even try to sew. I don't even learn how to sew. I pass it on to them. And if you are a homesteader, you understand time is a finite thing. There's no point in me, if I need to build a barn, there's no point in me going out and planting garlic when I can plant the barn. When I can build the barn. Because they can plant the garlic, and I'm doing what? Building the barn. But if I'm planting the garlic, who's building the barn? No one.
Kind of like you did with the.
Go ahead.
So it doesn't get done.
It doesn't get done. Yeah, the barn's never gonna get built. Kind of like that carport is down there. Bought it 5 months ago, and it's still sitting there.
I was gonna say, kind of like you did with the goat house today, the problem solving of we need a problem, and we need to solve the problem so we can continue to get milk, so don't be an issue. And here I am trying to figure out a way. Well, how can I do these goat babies until he could open up a cage for me now because we're losing milk.
Yes.
And then you inconvenience yourself to go fix it so we can have a solution right after
Yep.
Shabbat.
Yep. So that we can separate
Fix
the
the
baby
problem.
goats and milk the mama. So but see, a lot of men don't have management skills when it comes to these words. And because they listen to the traditions of men that tell them, you're listening to a dude who, I'm gonna keep this shit real. I ain't listening to no damn pastor who takes money from his people and then tries to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing when it comes to, aren't you taking the money from your constituency? Aren't you taking the money from the members of the church telling me what I'm supposed to do? Nigga, you get out your ass and get yourself a job. How about that? Y'all might be looking at some men like, why are you praying for more resources when the resources I gave you, you will not allow her to thrive and be productive? Woo! So I'm going to take a qualified, excellent nurse, and I'm going to say, you ain't going to nurse no more. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to be out here digging post holes so I can set these posts. That's what you're going to do. You're going to work the auger. Okay? All right. And I'm going to work a Sizzler. I can say that when I did work in the court system, it made me appreciate my man even more, because most men in an office work setting are a little too effeminate. Right. Oh, so says that as a woman, being able to provide a small but integral part to my master's vision leads to a deep fulfillment on my part. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I didn't know. You were typing over there? I was like, who's she texting? I'm on a live stream. She texting somebody? We're going to talk about this after the stream. She was commenting, see? I misjudged you. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
What?
That's a personal joke, everybody. No, I'm not being effeminate. It's a personal joke between. She's over here busting up right now. I'm going to read some more comments. I told you. I told you I was going to get you. You weren't expecting it. I got you. Okay. We're going to go back to that comment. I'm sorry, everybody. No, he worked too. That's right. The man's working too. Oh, no. We were just poor college students that got pregnant right after marriage. We needed him to graduate and go forward with his vision for our family. Lynn Rael, or forgive me if I mispronounce it. Rael, thank you. Shalom. Maybe it's just me, but if my wife was paying the majority of the bills, I'd be looking for a second job. Right. Why not use every talent of gold you have been given? The Hebrew Rapaholic. We as men don't know how to. We don't know how to. We don't know how to use the talents that we've been given. So a lot of us are actually guilty of burying that talent in the sand. And I saw somebody else say, is it pride? I believe for a lot of men, it's pride. I don't want to admit that my wife makes more money than me. Well, why not? Does it hurt your feeling? Or is it because you're afraid of how society is going to react to it? Which one is it? I don't understand it. Sometimes a man doesn't even have to be home doing nothing. If both the husband and wife work, but the husband doesn't use his money wisely, he can force that wife to take up his slack, and that would make the right resentment. Right, Brother Daryl. Yes. Hey, don't knock sewing. That's where slings and hoses come from. Brother Gary, actually, I don't knock sewing, because I'm wearing pajama pants right now that were sewn to me. I have no problem wearing sewn clothes. I have put in, before anybody else was here, hundreds, thousands of dollars into sewing for when it was just Tanisha. And now that they're all here, more money for them to sew. Not utilizing resources is the same as wasting time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man. Tractor in the yard looks real good, but damn trees and getting moved because it looks pretty. That's right. Man, y'all are tearing it down with these comments. I'm ashamed to say, but I've been guilty of that situation before. I think we all have, brother. I think we all have fallen into that. I think we all have fallen into that. And for me, you know, there's a lot of subtle tests you can run to figure out if a woman's truly submitted to you or not. Because meanwhile, what's happening is when you have businesses being started, incomes coming in from multiple sources, what people are doing is they're looking at you and saying, well, they did it this way. But we're doing it as a family, as a unit. Children are being raised. I have some taking care of that. Some are taking care of this. Some of us are working. Some of us are bringing in income. Some of us are cutting down trees. Some of us are bringing in income and cutting down trees. Some of us are bringing in income and moving the branches from the trees. Everyone's doing their part. Everyone. Hebrew Rapaholic said, I missed so many comments. Goodness gracious. Why not use every talent of gold you have been given? That's right. That's right. So I look at this and I say, with a father put me, I'm happy. And I'm not worried because all these people who are talking and telling me that I'm not doing this, that, or the other, they didn't pay a single bill that I got. When I was working my ass off and paying off the land, where were y'all? Right. Mr. Moore says, society praises a worker bee mindset. Ownership requires a desire. Oh my gosh. Mr. Moore, you are rocking this out today. Let me read this again. Society praises a worker bee mindset. Ownership requires a desire to be free from society. You remember, they need you. That's really what they need. They need you, man, to go and put 70, and that's what we do. I've sat up here before. Yeah, I work 60 hours a week and da-da-da-da. And how much time did I have for my children? 60 hours a week, coming home studying for the next 5 hours. And my children were, Sister Tanisha was 1 hour away, 15 minutes away from being a single mama. Where all I did was go to work, come home, sleep, get up, hop back in the car and leave. She didn't get the chance to see me, and 95% of the time I was grouchy. I was just gone for 14, 16 hours. Then I would come home, work for 4 or 5 hours, leave to work on 3 hours of sleep. Everyone said, wow, such a hard-working man. Everybody else clapped and cheered for me. And my children would cry because they said, Daddy, we don't get a chance to see you anymore. So was I really winning? You understand?
Maybe about the idea that too, with all this pressure, just because people praise the work all these extra hours, work 48, whatever, they don't think about what that the person who's working too have more than just a working role, because they have a family, because they have wives, because they have other things that's supposed to get accomplished as well, other than working. Then the man, don't let him at any point of time feel like he wasn't doing enough, because he will overdo it to prove to himself, I'm doing something, because he doesn't want to be looked down on like he was, this lazy person. He thinks he take one break to get a breath, he's being lazy, or because he wants to escape that image, so much so that he'll kill himself. And then where's the progress now? No head of house, no guidance for the wife, the family, the children. People need time together. There's the love need to be invested in the family and all those things. So, and all of us will probably have it, and women will be happy to see their husbands work that hard, and they think they're praising the right thing, and let something happen to their husband. They're like, I would have rather you not work this much if that meant you got more rest, if that meant the family got to experience. What she's
talking about is I got into a bad car accident because I fell asleep at the wheel because I'm trying to put in those extra hours. There were many times that I would drive home from work, and the reason why I was gone 16 hours because I had to pull over on the side of the road and take a nap. I could not make it home. because I was that tired. We all praise that. But what praising is there when she has to find out that I was in a car accident, and I almost flipped the damn car, almost drove into the culvert, hit, you know how they have the tube that goes through so people can drive over their driveway, hit that, went airborne about 13 to 15 feet, almost flipped the car. Then they say, well, you should have gotten some more sleep. But I'm in a society that praises me for killing myself. We live in a society. I'm not saying don't work hard, brothers, because I worked hard, and I work hard every single day. But working to the point of killing yourself is foolish. Who's going to take care of your family? Them same cats that are sitting there clapping at you and telling you you're doing a good job are going to be the same ones looking at your wife when you're gone. So what about that? One of the saddest things that I see in society, and it's part of this this American culture, because our ancestors work hard. They work hard. We work hard, but their work went somewhere. And I think that's the bigger issue, is that what Mr. Morris was talking about is a lot of the work we do today in today's society don't get us any closer to freedom. We don't get all the work that you do, men. How much closer to freedom are you? I mean, considerably close to freedom. That's what Mr. Morris was talking about. We own nothing. You work 12, and I did, 13 hours a day. And most people work all this damn time, and you still don't own shit. Brother the House of Lamar said, it's slavery. It is. You're slaving to have nothing. So why don't the two of you, if freedom is that important, combine your resources? Get out of slavery a little bit. You're not telling your wife, hey, you're going to be working the rest of your damn life. But hey, for this period of time, you're going to hit it. I'm going to hit it. We're going to get our freedom a little bit faster. Some men are, in today's society, there are men out there working 2 and 3 jobs and still can barely make it. Yes, it's new age slavery. Yes, sir. It is absolutely is new age slavery. They changed the game a little bit. Because back in the day, when people say, well, before the Industrial Revolution in World War II, when women went to work, well, before that time, your household could live on one income. The man would go to work, and you could still buy the nice house, white picket fence, dog in the front yard, reasonably sized. You have a little plot of land, your garden in the backyard, a little swing set in the back. You can do that on one income. Today, you got people living with 2 incomes that can't get an apartment. Can't get an apartment on 2 incomes. $3,000 a month for rent.
They taught us to live above our means.
Yep.
Too, so that's probably, if you eliminate that, that'll eliminate half the problem.
Yep. And they need you to do this. They need you to go to work and do all this stuff. We may have to address that portion of this. They need you. We'll address that next week. But here you are trying to play the game the way so-called people tell you to play the game. You realize you're playing by their rules. But what's Yah's rules? Why are you not playing within Yah's rules to get freedom? Why are we always playing in the mindset and the rules of men? You play within those rules because they need you to. They need you to play within those rules. These pastors, these teachers, these leaders, these elders, the system, the government, your mayor, your all them, they need you to play within this set of rules. Brother Chris F said, you don't get the time back or the money back. You don't. You work your ass off, you give it to somebody else, and you're doing it all just barely to survive. Barely to survive. House of Lamar said, I was thinking about that the other day. They want us living a life subject to payment. Brother, yes. Subject to payments. That's it. You get a credit card, you ring up $1,000, and they tell you it'll take. I read an article that someone said they had $1,000 balance, and they were paying. The minimum payment was like $52. But the APR was so bad that it would have taken 200 months for them to pay that off. 200 months at $50. No, sorry, it was $30. $30 at 50 months. At 200 months. Well, no, their peak was 1,000, and they were only able to charge up to 1,000, but they maxed it out for Christmas, and they were like, "Oh, but my payments are $32 a month, not 52, $32 a month," but it was for the math. They did the math of it, and then it was taking 200 months from the pay off that balance. Just the 1,000, huh? Just the 1,000. It was taking. So what? 52. Oh. That doesn't even make sense how much that you would owe for that. It doesn't even make sense. I was like, well, your payment's like $15. No, $32, but 200 months to pay it off.
If you don't distract yourself.
Brother Chris, with regards to the question of talents, what would your advice be to a man on how to make the best use of them and on multiplying them? Oh, that's a great question, brother Hebrew Alcoholic. I would always seek Yah's faith. Second, when it comes to talents and the gifts that Yah gives me, I always know there's a purpose. There's always a purpose. Yah gives, every good gift comes from Yah. So if it's a good gift, it came from him. So then comes that vision, the direction that he's taking you in. How does that gift, how do those talents line up with where he's taking you? So let's say it's gardening. You have a gift or you have a talent of gardening. Using that first for yourself. And then what I did. How can I make money off this? How can I multiply this talent? Now I've come to the point where I've got connections with grocery stores that want me to grow their produce. And I never thought, I hope I'm answering this question right here, Rabaholic. I never, if not, if you could please rephrase it so I could do a better job of answering it. It's just taking what he's giving you and really working with that talent that he's given you. So that you can bring him, you can bring the access, you can bring the bounty, the blessing, the additions, you can bring that to Yah. I feel like I just felt that question. It is. Because I never really sat down and asked myself, how did I do it? It was just a matter of I'm just going to go out and do it. Huge difference between working hard to please the Father and working as a slave for society. Yes. Brother Mike, Shabbat Shalom, he said, I own my thoughts and they're trying to take them. Yes. Yes. They're always putting something inside of your mind that makes you question you. When they're not the ones who are dictating or setting the standard for your life. Remember, these people need you. Look at most churches. Most churches weren't built by the hard work of the pastors. These churches were built by the hard work of the constituents, of the slaves to that church. You went to work, busted your ass, said you could take 10, 15, 20, 25% and give it to the pastor. Then he has the nerve to tell you about hard work. Nah. Nope. They need you. If the people say, listen, we're not paying you anymore. I'll listen to you, but I'm not sending you no offering. See how fast they quit teaching. See how fast they how fast they quit preaching. If the people said, well, none of us are sending you any more of our money. You can get paid for your AdSense. The ads on your stream. No more offerings. We'll give you food. That's what we'll do. I'll cook some grits and bring it to service. I'll bring a head of lettuce to service. Guarantee you, they ain't gonna be. They will not be going as hard. You remember, they need you. You don't need them. Not nearly as much as they want you to believe. They will become irrelevant if you ever found that out. If you ever found out, I can read the Bible myself. I don't need you to watch over my soul. You destroyed that verse. That's not what the book is saying. Because I can read Psalms 23 and tell you the answer to that one. They need you. They need you to pay taxes. They need you to pay your rent. They need you to go buy Jordans. They need you to go spend your money on the shit they want you to spend it on. They need you. Start understanding how important of a call you are to this system. And come out of that system. Dennis Daluz, yes, sir. Working hard for no purpose. You spend all this time. Just think about life, brothers. You spend all this time working your ass off and have no purpose. When you die, you look back and you say, I spent 50, 60 of my years. I've been working since I was 13. I got my first job at 13 years old. I've been working for all these years. And what do I have to show for all this work that I've done? I just live. You are basically like those humans in pods in the movie The Matrix. You just provided energy for the system. All that energy you spent was just to give it back to so that the system could run, so that the robots could run, so that the Matrix could run. And they gave you the illusion that you're living. It's just an illusion, though. They were after your energy. And it's the same system today. They're after your energy. They want you to spend your time working for them, not working and building for yourself. Because if you started working and building for yourself, you might realize you don't need $100,000. You might realize that. I don't need to go out there and buy the newest suit, have the newest shoes, have the fanciest car, have the nicest condo. Give me a couple acres of land, some seeds, some good tools, a truck, a trailer, some animals, some good brothers, wives, children, the ability for me to make some income, ball game. What about, I don't need it. And not just that, but when I go, my children have a humongous head start on their life. Yeah, we became sharecroppers. That's exactly it, Overbus. We become sharecroppers. When will we realize that society pays you with paper, but you are the currency? Man, brother. They're trading you and your work ethic. So to see that hits home on a serious level for me currently. I'm learning to listen to my wife about slowing down and giving my body time to recover instead of pushing myself past the breaking point. Brother Jay Morris, I would suggest highly, brother, that you do listen. Be like Abraham. Take heed to what Sister Kay is saying. I've realized, brother, me and Brother David talk all the time. And I'll ask him, how's your list going? He's like, well, it got bigger. And we realize being the homesteader, no matter how much shit you get done, you never actually catch up. You just get further and further behind. You take out 15 things and you go outside and walk your land and you found 20 more that need to get done. And you can't possibly do it. And that's kind of what the system has taught us. The system has taught us you're never going to own this apartment, but you're going to keep paying on it. So keep paying on it, but you're never going to own it. It'll never be yours. And we get caught up in that. What is it? Give me a second. I'm going to find this verse. Oh, I found it. Turn right to it. Sirach, chapter 33, verse 5. Now, this verse can be applied to many different ideas, but I want to apply it to this idea. We go to work, we work our ass off just to get back to the system, just to go back to work, and then get back to the system, and go back to work, and we tear up our bodies, and we don't. The heart of the foolish is like a cartwheel, And his thoughts are like a rolling axle tree. They're cyclical. The thoughts of the foolish person are cyclical. You just go around. Think of a cartwheel. When a man does a cartwheel, he starts off with his head up here. He does a circle. His head's back in the same spot. Think of a wheel. If you mark a spot on a wheel, all the wheel does is goes around and around, around, and the wheel carries the cart. Without the wheel, the cart goes nowhere. What you have to realize is that a lot of you are just wheels. You're carrying the cart of the system, but you yourself have no purpose but to go around and around and around and around and around and around. That's all you're doing. You're just going around and around, day by day, year by year. You're watching your life go by. You're 15, you're 20, you're 25, you're 30, you're 35, just going around and around. And yet you look at this apartment complex and you did the math. Just do the math of how much this apartment complex made in a year. Just do it. Well, I paid them $2,000 a month, and I lived here for a year, so I paid them $24,000. And you can't figure out why you can't buy land. You paid this dude 24 grand to live in a place that he built, and you weren't able to save none of that $2,000 a month. And that doesn't include water and gas and trash and electric. By the time you're done, it's $3 grand. With your car payment, $3 grand. So you dropped $3 grand a month and got nowhere. You're nowhere closer to where you want to be because you couldn't save. You sent all your energy working your ass off for what reason? So when I talk about these sort of things, a lot of sisters, y'all fall into that trap. You think you have your own independence and you're in your own apartment feeding you're feeding this guy. You get mad if you. Oh, why are you smiling? Pookie. Pookie. But women will get mad at, as you were saying, putting their resources into a home. But they'll be completely content paying John Havlicek. I know he was a basketball player. Not really that John Havlicek. But they'll pay John, the owner of Meadowbrooks Apartments, $2,500 a month. And say nothing about it. Because I can come in and leave whenever I want to. You're paying this to $2,500 a month. And if there's a knock on your door in the middle of the night, and there's a guy who's there who's going to hurt you, John ain't coming. John don't even live there. But you pay him $2,500 a month. But you get mad when jacked up system. And a lot of people are playing the game. They love a hard worker because you do all the work for them. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. That's why the people that don't play by the rules, the ones who have come out of her, my people, are now called dissidents. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And in reality, they really don't care about you. Just think of it. If you really believe the system cares about you. Now, I am not a supporter of the military. But look at how they treat the veterans of the military. Vietnam, they flew and dumped Agent Orange all over Vietnam. People came back hurt, dying, sick. Did they care? Did the system care? They didn't give a damn. What? Some people will give you 50% of your retirement. Well, you can go to the VA, and if the line's not too long or the shitty doctors that we have haven't fallen asleep, they'll see you. So the system doesn't care about you. So then we say, well, then create your own system. Start creating your own system. Stop depending on them. They need you to fight their war. Can you imagine if people say, listen, I'm not going to go fight your wars anymore? How many wars would this country be getting themselves into? How many wars would they be fighting if the people said, well, I ain't going to fight your wars no more? I'm not going to fight for oil. JP Morgan Chase is buying $1 billion worth of single family homes to rent so they can So they can be your landlord. They can be the Lord and they will own you. JP Morgan Chase. I mean, literally, the word is landlord. They are the Lord of the land, and you're just somebody who's there. And you know what? If you don't pay your rent, they don't care how sad you are. They don't care if you got children. Take this eviction notice, nigga, and get the fuck out. That's really what it is. Am I lying? When you go and you see that 3-day pay or quit, it's basically a big F you. That's all it means. Pay the money you owe or get the hell out. But I got children. Get the hell out. Well, I can't. Well, get the hell out. Well, it's freezing. Get the hell out. Well, what am I going to do to eat? Get the hell out. Well, what about get the hell out? What about my stuff? We'll put the shit in the curb. Well, what about that's all? They don't care. So I tell you, care for yourself then. Stop waiting for somebody else to care for you and start caring for you. Brother, I'm talking about you brothers, sisters. They don't care if they evict your ass. They don't care if you have to turn to prostitution. They don't care if you're not protected. They don't care if you get raped. They don't care if you get assaulted. Shit, it's almost like they hope you're assaulted. Because by you being assaulted, then the police get to come and do their job. And then when they arrest the guy, of course, they're going to inflict, court payments on him. Maybe you might get some restitution, but most of the payments go to the court. So they're making money off of crime, the same way doctors make money off of sick people. What incentive is there for them to heal you? Honestly, why is it in this system we live today, to give birth costs $20,000, $30,000, $40,000? You ever answer that question? So we say come out of her. It's like, I don't want to do that. What am I going to do out there? Live. That's what you're going to do. You'll finally get the opportunity to live. Find $1 billion in single family homes so they can rent them to you. Yeah, I'm scrolling through. That's right, done. Real ties. Real ties. Bring in a sheep. You could hear the wind noise made from the pastor leaving so fast. Right. Without you, Brother David said, without you, they would have to go to work. They'd have to do exactly what you're doing. Instead, they give you some half-assed, the laborer is worthy of his hire. Pay your tithes and offerings. Without you, they wouldn't have what they have. They've built what they have off of your back. And they'll call you brother for a little bit of time until you decide that you don't want to do what they're doing or live the way they're living. You ain't no brother no more. But they got their money, didn't they? That's right, Hebrew Rapaholic, making bricks for Egypt. That's all you doing. You building Egypt's pyramids. When you realize the system doesn't care about you, but is actively robbing you of your future, it makes it so much easier to leave it. The more you learn about how you're being taken advantage of, that's exactly it. Sister Taylor says that. I remember talking with Sister Taylor during our time of me getting to know her. And then when she became my wife, she said she felt more comfortable keeping her head in the sand. You told me that? She felt comfortable just, if she heard something that she didn't like, it was like an ostrich. Like, Taylor, can you hear me? There might be some dirt in it. You good. And it's interesting because when you start to see somebody wake up, they almost handle it with like, this is unbelievable. I'm sure she probably thought, the wacko in the woods really is a wacko in the woods. And then she started to realize, oh no, I might be turning into the wacko in the woods too. And then, the movie The Hills Have Eyes. Did I get you? Nah, that was close though. That was close though. Taylor thinks that she saw the people in the hills that eyes out here.
Yeah.
And she probably did. But once you start finding, you should be mad. You should be raging mad that you had to turn so much of your life over to a system, and what you got in return is, what'd you get? Yeah, you got a box. I mean, the box didn't even come furnished. They give you a refrigerator, no food in it. And they tell you got to buy the refrigerator, you have to buy the food too. And then you have to pay for the electricity to keep the refrigerator and to keep your food cold. But Davis, I walked away from hundreds, and he's not lying, brothers and sisters. I walked away from hundreds of thousands of dollars. I do not regret it at all. He ain't lying. And they have your energy. The Smiths come to end you and make room for your replacement. That's right. You die, what happens? They come, throw you on a gurney, wheel you out somewhere, put you in a box that they have you pay for. Then they have you pay for the plot of land to put you in that hole. They clean, they spray some bleach out, like it's a crack house. They throw some bleach all over the walls, do a little bit of scrubbing, and then somebody else is in there. If you're lucky, and I'm using the word lucky intentionally, they might replace the carpet. Otherwise, they got the steam cleaner guys that the steam clean in the middle of the floor can never hit the corners. You know, so you ever get in an apartment, you go to the corners, there's always some shit in the corner, Starburst wrappers and stuff like that. And that's your life. You served your purpose in your little apartment pod. You spent your energy serving the Matrix. When they're dead, they flush you out and put a new one in there. Eat Etco Life on YouTube. I'm going to be looking at that. Thank you, Brother Jay Morris. Look up Ecto. I said Eco. Can't read shit. The angrier you get, it makes it easier to sound no alarm to those still trapped. And this is from a sister. How long you been here? 10 months. You see how mad she's gotten? That's why I was walking down the property. I hit with the back of the head in the brick. She was pissed off at the sister. It wasn't me. You can't kill the messenger. Yeah, that bucket is it. We thought it was somebody else. It was Taylor. I should have known. She's mad. Don't take it out on me. I'm playing everybody. I read a verse in Ecclesiasticus that said there are some men who go through life and they leave no legacy, and it's as if they were never born. Today's society puts more men like that. Y'all help us, Brother Daryl. And I believe that men that live that life, that's part of their curses and sin. We were talking about that as a family here. I said, can you imagine being a man? And brother, I want y'all to think about this as we scroll on the comment. Make sure you comment about this. Imagine living life, and when you die, you're just gone. You left, your name's gone. You left no legacy. People forgot who you were. You were just shit. Think about that. You lived your life and you left no impact. You touched no one's life. You did nothing. You just lived in your little apartment. You had a couple children that ended up bad as hell. Your wife hates your guts. When you died, she cheered. Or when she died, you cheered. Either way. And that's your life. That's your life. You lived that for 40, 50, 60 years. You died from heart attack or whatever the hell it is. And that's all your life was. No impact. No legacy. Nobody carrying your name. You were erased, literally, from existence. Sisters, a lot of you face that today. A lot of sisters today face the fact that when you die, you're gone. Nobody's going to know who you were. Nobody. Outside of maybe your mama, your cousin. Somebody will put a Facebook memorial of you up there. born, 1984, died 2046. You might get a t-shirt, and that's your life. That's it. Think about that. Think about that. Brother Gary said, no, where does black come from? You'll own nothing and be happy. This is the life. Mason Shane, thank you. Oh, Fearmonger Son, bless you, brother. I am honored, brother. Thank you so very much. I am honored. Thank you. Hallelujah. Brother Chris, that's so true. The chore list on the homestead never gets shorter. I am so far behind these comments. Okay, let me catch up. Very true. Love, endless work, and little rewards. Killing it, bro. Brother say you killing it, bro. I had no idea what he's talking about because I am so far behind in my comments. Okay, keep going. And there ain't no meadow and ain't no brook. That's right. Keep going. Come on. See, Brother Ken said, and Korea. What are you talking about? I'm sorry, everybody. I need to do a better job of my comments. This is ridiculous. They'll deny until most of the vets die off, and then they'll admit it and delay payment. That was the veterans comment. But that's true. As Brother David said, they deny Agent Orange didn't cause it. What we were doing in Afghanistan, that didn't cause it. And then finally, after all the vets are dead, there's one left. They're like, okay, we did it. We'll give you a pack of bubble gum and a puppy that you can put in your tent. Because we ain't giving you housing. And you're so jacked up, you can't get a job. And you're aged out of working, unless you're going to be a Walmart greeter. So, yeah, we'll give you a puppy in your tent. And we'll give you a space heater. But you ain't got no luxury, so you can just put it there and imagine it was keeping you warm. That's why all branches are hurting for recruits now. The younger generation is saying, hell nah. That's exactly it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be skipping through y'all, but I really want to read them all. Brother Chris F. said, my brother-in-law came back from Afghanistan with a chronic issue. VA couldn't figure it out and gave him a tall boy of Vicodin, and that was it. That's it. That's crazy. Yeah, he's probably addicted to it. The system laws work like this. If we can collect a tax on it, legal. If we can't collect a tax on it, illegal. Right. Once New York, they found out, oh, you know what? Weed, big business. Let's legalize weed and collect all the tax revenue. But until that time, illegal. So what are you going to do now about all the people in prison for weed? You're going to release them all? Because you just legalized it. So you're going to release all the people that were arrested for possession, for intent to distribute, and say, we're sorry. Here's a payment to restart your life. $5 million each. No. They still sitting in prison, serving out their term, hoping that some president comes by and exonerates them. That's true. Ignoring the problem is always easier. Gosh, I'm sorry behind. My eldest is dealing with that now. He bought into the corporate lie, and now he's waking up. Hallelujah. Combat G, Shabbat Shalom. Walk away from the Nimrods, Pharaohs, Potiphars of life and choose Yahshua. Yes, sir. Man, I'm so far behind. They do? Okay, I'm just going to skip to him. All right. Yeah, I caught up. No legacy, no inheritance, very sad. But J-Card is in the room. Right. This would also imply that you made no impact for Yah. Brother, I'm glad I got to the end. I was never going to get there. Brother J-Card, that's exactly what I was saying to them. If you to have no impact meant that Yah really he wasn't dealing with you really. You really had you're just another person. See, what I find interesting is when we get to the kingdom, we'll be able to talk to the people that weren't in the Bible. And many of them, as a man, and I'm going to be real with you. As a man, you really look at what effect are you having on your brothers around? And what effect do you have on your wives and your wives, or children? If you're a man and you haven't really had an impact on men around you, for me, my personal opinion, you haven't really done anything with your life. You haven't built anything. The Bible says, we're going to bear one another's burdens. How are you going to bear one another's burdens if you can't bear your own? The Bible says, we are to submit ourselves to each other. So we're supposed to be learning from each other. How are we going to learn from each other if you have nothing that you offer your brother? What I'm finding out is the reason why a lot of fellowships, marriages end is because people are realizing that they don't offer anything. It's easier to leave. I'm just going to leave because I don't offer anything. I left because they're teaching some bullshit. But a lot of, especially in marriages, is I'm leaving because I don't offer anything. I've got nothing to give you of value. Except, in marriage most of the time, pussy, titties, and ass. And then it breaks a woman's heart when you say, well, I don't want to get too graphic with you, know what I'm saying? But I don't want you men to answer this question because I don't want y'all to get in trouble. Women be saying, my pussy's gold. I'm like, can you explain what that means? Just running off of, from go. Isn't it a hole? I guess, do certain vaginas have like massagers inside of them? Do others have like glass? And then others have like salt, like bath salt, something. And still others have. I mean, what does that mean? I never understood that. My pussy gold. I got that good. That's what I've been told that. You want that? I got that good. I'm like, this is so complex. First of all, I have to go to the internet to find out what good means. Second, what does that mean? What does that literally mean? Is she doing something that? What did she get surgical implants in her vagina to make it better than somebody else's? Maybe I'm lost. Maybe you brothers can help me out because some of y'all got these terms on lock. My pussy gold. What does that mean? Is she saying that hers is better than the next person's? Well, how would she know that? Is there a vaginal pleasure measurer that measures the vagina and tells you how good it's going to be? I don't understand these terms. Brother Chris said, "You're right, Brother Chris. I don't want to go to the internet. I went in that, and then I got off. I don't understand this stuff." But these terms, and people believe them, and then they start repeating them. And I was just like, I was so lost. I'm just a dude. I played basketball. I didn't do anything until I got married. And then someone comes and tells you, I got the good. And that just scared me when she first told me. Before I had ever done anything, in high school. You want some of this? I'm from the hood. So does that mean you want to fight? But you're a woman. I'm not trying to knock you out. No, I don't want any of this. Wait, what's this? This. The V. Vocabulary. My mind didn't think vagina. Like, I don't know. I don't know. What V are you talking about? My pussy. The pink. Oh, don't want some of this. No. Well, you don't want that good? No, I don't think is it's good. Yeah, it's good. Oh, Sure. No, I don't want it. But what do I get if I get it? See, ask him over there what he got. What did you get? Hey, she bombed. She bombed. But weren't you with the other girl over there? Yeah, she bombed too. What about that girl over there? Shit, she bombed. What about the girl you were with 2 weeks ago? She bombed. So you're saying that it's all bomb, is what you're saying then? Yeah, it's all bomb. So what makes her good better than that good? Wait, so is there a bad? Is there an intermediate? So confusing. And then you talk to, at that time when I was young and I had none before, you talk to other men, they're like, shit, it's all kind of basically the same. There's tight ones and there's loose ones, and that's kind of, it is everything in between. He said, what you don't want is the dry ones. So tight, loose, don't get dry. Didn't know that either. And all these terms that people put out there. My friend had to go see the doc because he got good. Hey, brothers, I'm being honest with y'all. I was lost. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know, I just didn't know. And when you look in today's time, this is what, wait, hold on. I'm looking for somebody to give me a definition of it. Who told her it was good, and how many people said it was good? Inkpen, that's what I thought. Like, so who was the qualifier? Who was the one that said it was a good? And I know that so should we go like the intercom system and say, hey, is, Shanita's V or Pink good? And if it's good, can you please come to the counselor's office so I can interview you? Is that what you do? And half the school shows up, you're like, can you tell me, sir, how it felt? So I would like to know. Come on now. And this is, maybe gold means the color. I hope it's not an STD or skin problem. That means it's yellow? That's that. Since the student said they laughed their butt off. My side said means it's expensive, sir. Oh, so it's gold means it's expensive. I gotta pay for it. So I was broke. I couldn't afford it. So that's what women said. You can't afford this. I'm like, yep. I'm out. Can't afford it. I'm sorry. I had that little funny in there. Don't feel bad, Chris. When I was a teenager, it was asked of me if I ever ate out. I thought the guy was talking about McDonald's. Little did I know he was talking about sex. I go to Clam Jumpers, Sizzlers, Denny's. I'm just coming back to the stream. LO, what is good? I still don't know what good is, but gold meant that it's expensive. I just found that out. But when you get that good, you'll know. Right. Right, David. You're like, oh, that's good. Oh gosh. Mr. Moore said, if good is like mil spec, I'm good. Oh gosh. These terms today get me. Somebody was like, hey, you want the box? This is recently. In my email, you want the box. And to be honest, I still don't know what the box means. You want the box. I know some of my hood brothers who are still in tune with that vernacular, but it was a sister. Well, no, not a sister. It was a woman who claimed to be a sister. Can you explain what the box means? I almost asked, what is the box? But I have a feeling, but I can't think of any square item. Okay, thank you, House Lamar. The box is a new term. That word, they be changing that word all the time. See, essentially, you just want to stay out this mess. Get married. Have your wife or wives that y'all can actually understand what the hell y'all saying half the damn time. Come out of her. Leave this stuff alone. This world, it's no place for us. The idea that you would sell your the thing that men in the Bible preserved and you're giving it away is ridiculous. Yeah, they call it the box. But House of Lamar just said it's a new term, it's the woman's vagina. I'm blown. I am absolutely blown. I just want a homestead, raise my family, have children, that sort of stuff. That's exactly what it is. It's a carnal fest. Like, what kind of... See, when you remedialize that to a box, I get boxes from Amazon all the time. So you're remedializing that thing that the Most High gave you that was preserved for your husband to just a random inanimate object. Not just that, but it's cardboard, which means it's probably useless. It has no value. The only thing it's good for is to tear it and use it as kindling for a fire. That's right. Yes. When you're married, do you have your lingo? It's for y'all. It's your marriage bed. It's all good. But when you start advertising this stuff, it's the devaluation of women. And the problem is that the women are the ones that are saying it. You're devaluing yourself thinking that it's sexy. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And then you get mad because men don't value you. Because he looks at your midsection, he sees a box. In redneck white boy land, box has meant that for at least the past 50 years. Oh! So Brother Gary said he said in redneck white boy land, box has meant that for at least 50 years. So we're just late to the party. Uh-oh. Hopefully you never heard of me lyrics from that new female rapper, Gorilla? Is that what it says? Glorilla. There's a rapper named Glorilla. Glorilla. Oh. Right. J. Moore said, I don't want to open that the same way. It's an Amazon box. Almost said. Because an Amazon box, I flip out my blade. No, not yet. Go back in the room. It's ridiculous. Why? Brothers, I'm scared to look it up. Brother, if you do it, we'll do it together. We'll venture into that land together. I like to think it all stems back to when governments declared companies as people. We started saying things like, well, YouTube don't like, or they, and now we are calling each other's privates random shit. Right. So if you are devaluing that thing at the Most High, he had specific laws for that part of your body. He told you, woman, get married and put it on your husband. But until that point, do not. There will be no whores in Israel. He said that. And now we have closet whores, women that are so-called Israelites who are still sleeping around, but put a head covering on and go to church. And I'm calling it church for a reason. The supposed Israelite faith emulates traditional westernized church right now. There ain't nothing holy about it. There ain't nothing righteous about it. It's just nasty and vile. It is filthy when you look at the way, you know, the Yah's people. I'm reading Samuel right now, and I was just when Israel was asking for the king because they saw what the nations did. I'm like, this has been an ongoing thing for Israel. We see what the nations are doing. I think it was the Amorites. I want a king now. We want a king because we saw what they were doing. Her name is Glorils. Oh, Glorils. Glorils. I want to play one of her songs in front of you to see your action, brother. See how House of Lamar, you know how I'm gonna act. Oh gosh, Sister K said, I'm going into the sand like Sister Taylor. She put her head and said, I can't handle this. It's sad, but I want to see the look on your face. Brother, hey, House of Lamar, when you come in fellowship, we'll do it. Together we need, I don't want to hear this. It's so true, Brother Chris. I just Googled Glorilla. Whomever stated this, I don't like. He said, I don't like you. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. That is so funny, Mr. Morris. Oh goodness. They call themselves a camp, but they live in a city. Right. Man, Nitzraim, that's a great point. They call themselves a camp, but they live dead smack in the middle of a city. Combat G said it's only going to keep getting perverse. We'll raise the standard in Yeshua. That's it. That's it. Man, this stuff it's wicked. So here's what I consider. Here's what I suggest. We starve them. We starve them in any way you can. This is why I talk about marriage. This is why I talk about things, for making your own food. Because the more you starve them, they realize they need you. They know it. A lot of these churches, camps, groups, this is why they don't care about how many people they run through. They don't care about how many people they run through their group. New people all the time. There's that. The movie Bug's Life, when Hopper is sitting there with his grasshoppers, and if you've never seen it, I suggest you look at it. Type in Bug's Life. Hopper talks to the grasshoppers, and then listen to what's his name, Speck or Flick or I don't know, maybe it's Flick, Speck, something like that. Dot, one of them. The main, protagonist in the show. He at the end of the movie, he tells them, we don't need you grasshoppers. You need us. And what's happening is we walk this life out, what these churches are realizing is that they need you. They need you way more than you need them. You can grab the Bible. You can right now hop on the internet and listen to people who will tell you what the Bible says to the best of their ability and not ask you for a dime. They won't tell you the laborer is worthy of his hire and the ox treadeth out the corn. And they won't tell you that. They won't bullshit you to get your money. That's it. Bug's Life. Yes, Brother Gary said. No, Mr. Morris, it's a Bug's Life. That Bug's Life speech tells the whole story. Listen to that. Listen to the two parts. I forgot his name already. What was the grasshopper's name? Damn, listen to me. Hopper. When Hopper says that speech, listen to the Hopper's speech, Bug's Life. You'll find it. But Hopper realizes they don't need us. And in order for us to maintain, if we let one of them stand up, then they're all going to stand up, and they outnumber us. It's the same story in slavery. That the master felt about the slaves. There's one master. There's 10, 15, guys with the whip, masters, and then there's 200 slaves. If they eventually realize and wake up and say, we outnumber them, we lost. If you actually, it's more than just saying, I'm Israel. I'm an Israelite. Look at my tassels flow. Look at my name change. Look at how, no, it's more than that. More than that. What do you live? Until you live it, you ain't doing shit but talking. And they don't mind talkers. They don't mind you coming on YouTube and just saying a bunch of shit. They don't want you to live it. They don't want you to get on here and actually live what you're saying. You're the dangerous one, brother. What they want you to do is, hey, listen, get your clap on like they do in the Sunday church, say hallelujah, wave your hands, scream hallelujah, jump for joy, speak in tongues, fall out on the floor, have a conniption, do whatever you have to do. Just make sure Sunday, first day, at 5 o'clock, you have your ass at work. Make sure that money that you get is paid to your landlord. Make sure you hit Walmart and buy all your shit from Walmart. Make sure that you pay all your bills. You might have $100 at the end of the month. Take that $100 and go out and do something nice, like buy your wife some roses, take her out to a restaurant where she can get herself a burger or something like that, and do that again next week and the week after that. So you go ahead and have your Holy Ghost good time, as long as you never break away from what we are doing. Because what you don't realize is that Holy Ghost good time, we create that too. We own that Holy Ghost good time you just had. Well, we're not 501c3. You don't have to be 501c3 to be owned. You don't have to be a 501c3 to be a liar. You don't have to be a 501c3 to take people's shit. You don't have to be a 501c3 to send people to hell. You don't have to be a 501c3 to teach deception. You don't have to be a 501c3 to do that. All you need is a voice and a phone and a channel. And you can do that. There are people all over the internet right now who are paying other people to lie. Let's understand that what we're talking about, like legacy, you don't want your life to be spent and for you to die and you did nothing on this earth but live. And that is you could argue whether you actually did live or did you just exist. Did you just exist? Are you living or are you just existing? Are you actually fulfilling the vision that the Father gave you, brothers? Are you actually fulfilling that vision? Or are you just living? That's a question that you can answer. The Bible says we should judge ourselves first before we can judge anybody else. Judge yourself first, and are you actually living? 501c3 is the enemy's handiwork. It castrates pastors from saying the truth. It does. Brother Delvin said the ones who lived the Bible and denounced unrighteousness were always thought of by the unrighteous as the troublemakers. That's why Ahab said, "Is that you, Elijah, old disturber of Israel? Is that you?" But Chris F said, "You living or dying? You're doing one of the two things. You're either living or you dying." That's for you to figure out. Look at your life, brothers, and ask yourself, are you living or are you dying? Are you just surviving? Or as my sister Susan said, bless you, Brother Will, are you surviving or are you thriving? Because when I look at the book, I see y'all's blessings or thriving. There's curses or death. I'll stick to trying to stay on the narrow path and working to improve the quality of the homestead and my life and the life of my family. And thus, Brother Jay Morris, your name won't be wiped out. Hey, bud. You just going to join the stream? Hebrew Rapaholic, a nonprofit. And so a Hebrew Rapaholic, basically, this is going to be like a rough definition of it. A 501c3 is a nonprofit, but they don't pay taxes. So any monies that they bring in, they don't really pay taxes on it. So it's a way to get away the tax. It's a tax loophole. But to get that 501c3, you have to usually say government approved speech. Non-501c3s oftentimes boast that they aren't a 501c3, so they can say whatever they want to, but they still make their money. Bless you, Brother Will. So 501c3 is a tax exempt status for the church, but you got to play by the rules. There it is. Brother Gary said, shalom. So just something to think about. I may have to change the title. If y'all have a good title name for this stream, because we kind of covered, or should I just keep it the way it is? I'll just keep it the way it is. Just remember, brothers and sisters, that they need you. Remember, brothers, this is not about polygyny. This is build your house, and build your house so you see fit. I'm not going out there and telling y'all to take wives and put them all to work and make them. I'm not saying all that. What I am saying, though, is it's your house. Keep the law and work on the vision that the Father has given you. And don't let somebody else and their rules for their house and how they see things and how they feel about things without pulling out a biblical law. Don't let them affect your vision, because they'll tell you shit. And I know I'm guilty of it. I'll be the first to tell you. I've said stuff that may have affected somebody's vision. And if that's the case, I am sincerely apologetic. That's why I've gotten more and more into now where I'm just like, what does the law say? Outside of that, my opinion really doesn't matter for your life. It matters for mine. It matters for my children. It matters for my wives, but it doesn't matter for yours at all. My opinion. And Sirach 3:24 says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. I've had evil suspicions because I'm gonna tell you, I've been taught that if your wife goes to work, you're wicked, you're lazy, you're a bum, you're this, you're that. And I'm like, wait a minute, the Bible doesn't say that. That's man's opinion. So build your house. Build your house, brother. And don't let any man's opinion, including mine, change what the book says. And y'all willing? If I find out that I told you my opinion and it wasn't the book, I'll come here and I'll repent and let y'all know I am sorry. I'm sorry. Bless y'all. No outro, no out music. Realize that these people need you, but you don't need them as much as you think you do. You have the ability to read the book. Pick it up and read it. Start starving the beast. And take what you were given the beast and build your own. Bless y'all. Ooh, that's good, Brother Daryl. Let me put that up. I'm going to end with that one. Bless y'all. Shalom.